Excuse me.
Thank you. That is kind.
You're a soldier?
Long ago.
Do you mind? I'm Sam.
Please. Tell me, Sam, do you know the story of our slain king and his beautiful daughter, the Princess Lisa?
I don't.
Well, you remind me of her.
Tell me what's going on.
I'm here to finish your training.
A little late for that.
One is never too old to learn, Snips.
All right. What's the lesson, Master?
Live. Or die.
I fear we lost some measure of our honor since that betrayal. I'm afraid our compassion, our kindness, our very joy died with that young girl.
I think it lives in you.
I won't fight you.
I've heard that before.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bat Dan's Watch Parties. So, let me just get this in the chat real quick. We have a big trending event tomorrow for SellZSJLToNetflix, SellSnyderVerseToNetflix. So, today, to get ready for this, we're going to be doing a watch party today. We are going to be doing Chapter 2, Curse of Forgiveness. Rebel Moon, Chapter 2, Curse of Forgiveness. So get your Netflix ready, and please welcome as I bring on TheCurlyRay. How are you, man?
Yo, what's up? It is JC1435, Militaris of the Imperium, vendor of the Slave King.
That never gets old. Are you pumped today, Jimmy?
Yo, pretty pumped up right now. In fact, I'm feeling super activated into watching Rebel Moon Chapter 2, Curse of Forgiveness again, because it's actually been a minute since I've seen it, almost about a month now, because I've been really busy with with a lot of things, and it's great to be back watching this film once again, because the director's cuts, I think, are definitely my favorite movies of the year. I've been diving deep into the Rebel Moon lore over at Rebel Moon Theory, and it's just been all fun. And be on the lookout on the channel. I cannot wait to show you guys what I've been cooking up for next month, which you guys know next month is the 1-year anniversary of Rebel Moon. And I got something cooking up that will be coming out that day. There is something else. I cannot tell y'all what it is. Some of you may know it, but I cannot wait for that day. And this is going to be an awesome watch party.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Curly Ray, I can't wait to see what you have cooking up. Can't wait to see what you have cooking up for Rebel Moon Theory. I'm really glad you started that channel. Keep Rebel Moon in the conversation more.
Oh, absolutely. And, that was because one thing that, even still on YouTube, there's not really a lot of people really talking about this stuff and diving deep with everything. I'm just like, okay, I got that for y'all. So there we go. And speaking of
Exactly.
which,
And again, as this franchise gets, oh my God. Yeah, let me hold on. Let me blow that up for a sec. Let me remove this.
Actually got this off of
Nice.
a topic. It was about $7 they had on sale. And something else. I think I may have showed this on Josh Ferrera's channel, but this was from Bandai Namco. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh my.
It's got the cloak and everything, and there's something else it did come with. It came with a another headpiece without the antlers, but it does come with his crown of flowers as well. And this was something I don't think when it comes to the quality of it is about $60, but I think as a figure, this might be I think this is the best figure that they've released so far for the Rebel Moon stuff. There is a Korra one and a Nemesis and another Nemesis one from Bandai Namco, which is a bit different from the other Nemesis one that we got recently. And something else too. We got Jimmy almost fell off. I got this. Now this isn't the bowl, but this is an actual, like, let me see. Yeah, I gotta try to put it back on here. It's an actual statue of the Imperium dropship. Comes with that right there. And it's like, it's not like plastic or nothing. It's like, there's like actual like steel from right here. So just wanted to show a little bit more of it right here. We got the back over here. This thing does raise. Oh, that doesn't raise up. But yeah, it's something I thought was really cool. This is about $80. About $80, which is pretty expensive, but it's pretty good for the. I think it's worth it for the quality at least. And something else is coming in the mail tonight, but I'm gonna actually show it to y'all tomorrow. Batman, you already have it, and I think you might know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't know.
Nightmare Batman.
Oh, that, yeah, okay, yep. Got that, or since you brought, okay, hold on a second, since you brought it up. In this?
Yes, that right there. Mine's coming in today. I ordered off of McFarlane. Those figures, man, they look so dope. Like, hold up, I actually got my. If I might be able to put it back without.
So just to clarify, people, what we're doing again is we're just kind of giving you all time to trickle in and get your Netflix set ready. So right now we haven't started yet. So just while we discuss a little bit, get your Netflix ready. All zeros. Okay, anyway.
I got this right here too. I got the stand right here. I actually have all my figures. I accidentally dropped about one of my figures while I was trying to take that out of there. I'll put everything back. Yeah, you might need to give me a sec. I gotta put everything back because some of the
Okay.
stuff just fell off. Sorry about that.
No problem. No problem at all. I understand. Yeah, it's like we have our figures all scattered around, but hey, that's the thing with being a collector. We have a lot, and sometimes it's hard to keep track of them all.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it showed up Ben Affleck. Did you notice how Artist Equity, Ben Affleck's production company, has a giant life-size Batfleck statue?
Yo, I saw that. I'm like, bro.
Hold on, let me just pull that up real quick. Sorry, keep talking.
Yo, I saw that and I'm just like, yo, the love for Batfleck is there. It's just all there. And it's just, like with the figure selling out. And why is this not standing? Was there something else? Oops. Yeah, yo, that statue just looks like, the bottom, like the detail, it literally looks like him.
Yeah, and this is, again, at Artist Equity, we're Ben Affleck's own production company, which I'm just saying, people keep saying that Ben Affleck hated his time as Batman. It was bad for him. He doesn't want to be Batman again. Yeah, he hated that so much that he keeps a giant life-size statue. I'm just saying, I don't know if Ryan Reynolds has a production company, but I don't think he's keeping a giant Green Lantern statue anywhere he works.
Yo, there's definitely something going on behind the scenes. I feel like with like Ray Porter, tweeting out Cell and all this stuff going on. Like I just feel like there's something going on, and we're just gonna have to continue to wait and see how it plays out.
And, exactly. And also, too, Zack Snyder has a lot of projects lined up. I haven't really got to talk about this too much yet on my channel, but 2 projects are confirmed right now. One, a UFC movie that Zack Snyder is going to actually direct a UFC movie, going to be in theaters. So he's going to hit the theatrical experience again, other than like the limited ones that his Netflix projects have had. Which, I'm not going to lie. I'm not really a big UFC person. I'm happy for Zack Snyder that he's getting a theatrical movie, and I'm going to say to support Zack Snyder. But, yeah, UFC, I'm not that really big into. But, it's great that Zack Snyder's doing it, though, because we all have diverse sets of interests. And, as part of a community, when that happens, or if you're a fan or director for certain movies, we're different people. We have different interests. It's like us, TheCurlyRay, and our little community of Cell. We all have very different interests. I'm not really a big sports guy, but other people do sports streams, and I love that because it shows that we're different people with different interests. So yeah, even though that I'm not a big UFC person, I can be really happy. I'm still really happy for Zack Snyder and that he's going to do something that he's interested in, and I think it's really great.
Absolutely, and him doing the LAPD movie on Netflix, which I haven't watched a ton. I'm not gonna say I haven't watched a ton. I have seen some. I haven't watched a ton, though. Like, I've seen... There's actually a game. I don't know if it was released to film or not, but like how, we've seen Army of the Dead, we've seen Dawn of the Dead, and I think he would do good well as, like, a cop and detective type movie. And even, after seeing Watchmen and Batman vs. Superman with, the warehouse scene, and him doing all the detective work, like it's, I think Zack Snyder can set up for a really good, crime movie, and I think it's going to do really well over there at the platform as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice because it's a smaller budget project, so it doesn't really take that much for it to hit big on Netflix. And it's funny though because people keep trying to say, "Oh, Netflix is so sick of Zack. Zack's a failure." I'm like, yeah, that's why Netflix is giving Zack Snyder more work.
Yeah, and we keep telling that his new cop movie is going to be a Faces. I'm just like, like it's super hilarious, and they just continue to be proven wrong. Like Zack Snyder has his good billing relationship with Netflix. He's got his own profile pic. They let him at the Netflix Geek Week, and it's been even watching that event, like they are treating him like a rock star. And shout out to Skywalker the Jedi. Cartoons and Serial was fantastic this morning. Really enjoyed those first 3 episodes of Arcane. And, I also cannot wait for this watch along too.
Yeah, I can't wait either. Like, yeah, I guess I was caught off guard that I should have caught up on Arcane season 1 before they did Cartoons and Serial this week, because I'm very like OCD. Like, I have to watch a series from the beginning, and if I don't do that, but yeah, so definitely need to start catching up on these series more often so I can actually watch more Cartoons and Serial again, because that always. But yeah, but still, I love that Skywalker's doing it. I love that it's really great that he's doing that, because again, it's what we're all doing. We're showing the engagement for Netflix, keeping the conversation, showing Netflix that we are a viable consumer base.
Even with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul last night, which I did enjoy watching that as well. Now I don't think, well, the overall show, I'll say I enjoyed watching it. And I think Netflix is still going to kill it with, the streams. They do. I feel like they need to kind of fix with like the lags from last night. But other than that, they're putting in the NFL streams and all the sports stuff they get on there. That's going to be more subscribers. And also shout out to Netflix for putting out some dope animated series, bro. Like, they got some dope animated shows. We've been watching, we watched Arcane. We watched the Tomb Raider, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Blue Samurai, and just all these dope shows. And they also got some fantastic animes on there as well. And it's just been absolutely fun rocking out with this platform. And even, tuning into the events, like they're showing trailers for like a new Cyberpunk. We got Devil May Cry coming out, or a new Devil May Cry anime, and all these good shows. And I cannot wait to check them out over at Cartoons and Serial.
Yeah, Netflix has a lot of great content. And honestly, Netflix is doing so much better than Hollywood in general right now, because Hollywood has put out so much garbage, so much not great stuff, but Netflix respects their creators, and that's why Netflix is king right now.
See, that's the thing. I haven't been to the theater. Well, this year, like, I went to the theaters a lot last year, but I didn't really go as much as I usually do. Like this year, like I saw Dune in the theaters. I've seen, what other movie did I see? Oh, recently I went and saw My Hero Academia. I also saw The Beekeeper. That's what it was. I saw Beekeeper, and then I also saw Joker 2. Those were the only 4 movies I saw in the theaters this year. There's still a few other movies I need to see, but it, like you said, man, like, and I think it's supposed to be because that Netflix has been out there killing. They've been, making a lot of great films recently, like Rebel Ridge, fantastic. Rebel Moon, the director's cuts, along with the PG-13 versions, both versions, no matter what, they're both amazing. And even putting out all these great shows, and it's really them that I've been just watching most of my films on Netflix, because they care about their filmmakers, like what you said, they care about their filmmakers, and they really care about the audience of what they're putting out there. So yeah, Netflix is killing it out there, and cannot wait to check out Rebel Moon Chapter 2 again.
Yeah, same here, and that's why we are engaging with Netflix, and why we're aiming for Netflix to continue the Snyderverse, because they're the ones who care about their creators. They're the ones who want to put good content out. Has Netflix always been perfect? No. There was that issue with The Witcher, but again, Netflix redeems themselves, though. That's the thing. Netflix, for every miss, there's more hits. And that's why we support Netflix. People it's like so funny. Like when the LAPD movie was announced, they're like, "Oh, Rebel Moon's a failure. Rebel Moon's a failure." I'm like, then why are they continuing with Zack Snyder?
This is what I'll say between it. I've been seeing articles talking about how, like, oh, Zack Snyder's abandoning Rebel Moon. Zack Snyder's done with Army of the Dead. Rebel Moon flopped. He's going back to do just regular stuff. Zack Snyder clearly stated that he wants to do, like, a little small movie first before he gets to his big bad movie, whether if it's Rebel Moon 3 or a DC project, which could be Justice League 2 and 3.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, hopefully the DC projects, that's when we've been waiting for the longest. And I just kind of want that to happen just so we can like have that be done. Because I know Zack Snyder wants to do the Dark Knight Returns, but the thing with that for me is that can wait a little bit longer, especially if he wants to use Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill for that. Because that's one of the few projects, DC projects, where the actors being older is a good thing, is a better thing, where you actually want to wait for the actors to get older. So, yeah, I still want to see that Dark Knight Returns, make no mistake. But that doesn't... But the actors can be older for that. Whereas ZSJL 2 and 3, Zack already had to change the timeline to 10 years. I don't have him to go back and be like, okay, well, now it's 15 years later. Now it's 20 years later. It's like, okay, Darkseid's really slow at a certain point if he has to keep doing that. So we'll see what again.
Exactly. And it's not really just that, bro. It's just that, with Rebel Moon, like while Zack Snyder is doing Justice League 2 and 3, they got other creatives that can do maybe other Rebel Moon projects, like an animated series, or, we got the comics, which ain't really, on the net. Well, it is on, you know what I mean? They're comics. And then, I even think that Eli Snyder, Zack Snyder's son, I think he can maybe direct a project. I actually think he can. And I think it would be cool to see if he actually does end up, directing something for the for Rebel Moon.
I wish Sin Havoc was in the chat right now to really confirm or deny what you just said, TheCurlyRay.
Well, what is that? Is he? Is it doubtable?
If you know, you know. We'll just say that. We'll just say that. If you know, you know. So. But,
okay, yeah. But like I said, they could be, while he's doing Justice League 2 and 3, they putting out more Rebel Moon projects. We got a game coming out. Now it's a mobile game. And it's going to be a mobile game at launch. But I do think it may come to Steam at some point. Now, if they don't end up bringing it to Steam or console, hey, that's all cool. We ain't going to get upset at them because guess what? I can play it on my phone, and I can play it on this device right here. It was on my floor, and I thought I had it on the counter. But, man, I'm ready for more Rebel Moon content. Wait for that comic for the Nemesis comic to come out. Cannot wait for that. And
yeah, didn't the writer of that give you a shout out?
Yes, Gail Simone. Yeah, she actually gave me a shout out on the Rebel Moon theory. I was just making that post. I was like, I think this comic's gonna be dope. And then she put out that quote, and it's a good thing that she was putting this out because she's giving out an update to it. And I'm like, this is super dope that we can that we got this news about the comic and the fact that we're getting more Rebel Moon stuff. Like we're getting more content. We're getting more comics. We're getting more shows. And I think we're getting a Kali series from what I've heard. If it's going to be... I don't know if it's like a mini-series that they're going to be putting out. But I'll have to do more research on that. But they're putting out all this stuff. We had a podcast. Netflix bringing out the whole events, like the Epic Rules of Zack Snyder. And also doing, all these other events. Like, they're rocking out with him. And they really care about these projects. And, I think even Netflix really wants Zack Snyder to do more Rebel Moon. Like, they really do.
Yeah, absolutely. And, this is the thing. DC talked about Planet of the Dead. It's funny. Jay Oliva mentioned that they're canceling the Army of the Dead animated series Las Vegas. And what people seem to gloss over is the fact that he said in that same quote that they want him to do more Rebel Moon. So it's
exactly.
I'm like, okay, cool. So one franchise is more successful than the other, Zack Snyder's. Okay, yeah, Zack Snyder, one franchise was beaten by another one of his franchises. Okay, great. Netflix still likes Zack Snyder, people, but personally, people like wonder why we haven't like gotten Rebel Moon 3 greenlit yet. Zack's working on other projects right now, people. Plus, again, as I'm theorizing that his next big project will be ZSJL2 and 3. That's likely why these other projects have not been greenlit yet, but they're still working with Zack Snyder, and they're still continuing the Rebel Moon franchise in other capacities. So that is a win, and I'm pumped, honestly. So we'll give about 5 more minutes. So 5 minutes, we'll get started.
And it's not only Netflix, wanting more with Zack Snyder, or it's not only Zack Snyder still working with Netflix. You got Ben Affleck there, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher. There's a new movie coming out on Netflix called The Piano Lesson that will be starring Ray Fisher. That comes out on November 22nd. That is Friday, actually.
Oh.
So I'm definitely going to be checking that out whenever it comes out. I might just get up in the middle of I might get up early in the morning just to watch it. That's how intrigued I am to, to watch these films and to engage with Netflix. And, Ben Affleck's is Ben Affleck doing like a thriller over there at Netflix? Or like a
R.I.P. with Sasha Kaye.
Yep, Sasha Kaye. She's there too. Like,
yeah.
Yo, we're getting the whole Justice League over at Netflix.
Wait, what? Jesus Christ! Hold on a second.
What?
Jesus.
I don't think they're going to be on the Lethal Geeks podcast tonight.
If they did, they would have announced it. It's not on their announcements.
This might be... Yeah, I don't think they announced anything about that.
Okay, well, Lethal Geeks, if you see this in the chat, if you come in the chat or see this on replay, you can clarify that below.
Unless if this comment was made from a bot. I mean by a bot, somebody else other than DC.
No, because he's modded. If it was made by a bot of DC Talk, he wouldn't have been modded.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hadn't come across any bots on the streams I've done. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. But
I only get bots when I have certain people on.
Yeah, they do a show. The Lethal Geeks does a show about every 2 weeks. DC Talk, you may be thinking about that post that they made on about whenever they were talking about Gelsiman the other night. You might be thinking about that video that they made. I don't think they're actually bringing him on there, or her on there at least. It might be that video. Maybe that's what you're thinking about, is that video that they put out. But
yeah, I didn't see anything on their Twitter feed that. Oh, Sin Havoc. Hello. So we're going to get started with Curse of Forgiveness very soon. So TheCurlyRay mentioned he would like the idea of Eli Snyder directing something like in the Rebel Moonverse or something like that. What's your thoughts on that? I'm really curious.
Let's see.
Yeah, and then but yeah, are you excited for the training event tomorrow?
Yo, I'm already ready. I got all the stuff ready. I got my pictures. I'm going to be doing some stuff probably over here. Hold up a second.
Okay, so this is what TheCurlyRay or Sin Havoc said.
Look at that. Look what I got over here.
On
my shelf. Yep. Got all that right here. Look, I got not the entire Justice League, but I got most of the figures over there. And I'm sorry for my blurry camera. But yeah, that's what most of the stuff I have. And I got this. I'm going to be ready. I'm ready for tomorrow. 7 years of a humongous campaign. A huge campaign. A very successful campaign. Has actually made, that has put in work and actually, succeeding in a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. And, we can continue this discussion once we get started. But we're going to get started now, guys. So make sure you get your Netflix ready, get your...
And make sure...
I have to turn this on so I can actually see the play button on my remote.
If you have a Samsung TV, make sure that you're hitting this little button in the middle between the circle, which is the play button, and that's where we'll use it. You got the PlayStation remote?
Yeah, so that's the only way I can use it headphones because... I mean, I do technically have other headphones for my TV, but I haven't figured out how to get them to work. So I use the PlayStation when I do watch parties, so I can use my headphones here.
Yeah, I just saw you had. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I need to start actually playing again. I've been so busy, I haven't had time to play video games. But anyway, we can get started very soon, guys. So we're gonna get started now. So I'm still here. I just have to move a little bit, so I'm actually closer, so my remote's in range to play. Anyway.
Yep.
Counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play. Okay, so now I can turn this off. But here's the funny thing: as many people are so upset about Justice League, about tomorrow being the anniversary for Justice League, in some ways, I'm actually kind of thankful that we got that movie. And let me kind of explain why before I... Oh, hold on. Let me change this. Before I get the pitchforks after me. Because the thing is, because of this campaign for the Snyder Cut, fighting for the Snyder Cut, we've raised so much money for AFSP. I've made so many friends campaigning for Zack Snyder's true version of Justice League. And I made a lot of friends doing that. We raised so much money for AFSP doing that. And that, I mean, ironically, that would not have happened without Justice League. Plus, if we got Zack Snyder's cut back in 2017, it still would have been a bit of a butchered cut. It wouldn't have been his full vision. As many people who are upset about some of the stuff that Zack couldn't do, like the Green Lantern scene, to be honest, that cut is still less compromised than what we would have gotten in 2017. So I'm thankful in that regards for getting that Justice League movie. So,
and not just that, Bat Dan. I have a question. So, if they really let Zack Snyder, if we actually got to see his vision, do you think we would have still gotten Rebel Moon?
That's a good question. I think we might have, but I think at a different point because that pitch was going on forever, for a while. I think we would have gotten it just later and then potentially different actors because, scheduling and whatnot.
Exactly. And that's the thing about Netflix. They're like, Zack Snyder is taking like old scripts or old ideas he had for movies like way back in the day, like 20 years ago. And they're just letting him make all these movies that, he's been wanting to make for all these years. What other company has let Zack Snyder do that? That's the real question.
Like, people are so upset like that Netflix did like the bastardized versions of Rebel Moon and then the director's cuts, but like they still let Zack do his own vision at all. I mean, we should be thankful for that. And the thing is, people keep saying critical reception. I'm like, critics would hate Zack Snyder if they released the director's cuts first. Have you not been paying attention?
And here's the thing that I will say, and this is to everybody that is complaining about Netflix's, marketing, saying, "Oh, I just hate Netflix. Zack Snyder shouldn't be there." And I'm just like, you're acting like Netflix ain't letting Zack Snyder cook. Like they gave you the director's cuts, and you're still complaining about it. You're complaining that, oh, the trailer shouldn't have dropped, earlier than expected. It's just like they're playing it safe over here. They're still making the views and the money. And relax, y'all. The bishop's here.
Thank you, Bishop. Always a pleasure to see you pop by.
And
see, I like a little bit of lore that the director's cuts adds here, like seeing the Kali cry, like seeing that, like you actually realize that statue's alive.
Yo, they need to make a statue for that. They need to make like an actual like. I think they're gonna if they continue to make more Funko Pops, which we most likely will see more. They need to make a Funko Pop of that. What would be cool is if they had like this big one. You know those like little big ones you see at like Sam's Club or Walmart. They should have a big size Kelly, and then Cora's standing at at the bridge looking up. I think that would be something cool that they could do.
You know, if they were to do a Funko Pop like that, hold on, let me just kind of show you like how they would have to do it.
And also, yeah, this right here, this might actually be my favorite Funko Pop, actually. I don't really take them out of the box, but this one right here, I had to.
So like don't like focus on the fact that it's like the Flash movie, but it'd have to be like a Funko Pop of that size, where it's basically it'd have to be like this big for something like that to work.
Yeah, that could possibly work. Maybe without Cora, that could be something. But I feel like it could be a bigger size. But that's what I think, because I'm like huge into collecting stuff. Because I got more Funko Pops than I do in my room. I have like my Yu-Gi-Oh ones over here on the right. I got my Rebel Moon ones up here. But in my living room, because I like moved in here recently, I got a whole like stack of Funko Pops in my living room. Like it's just standing there. I got like Batfleck. I got the Snyderverse figures, even some from the Ayer cut. One where it has, the Joker Batman, and then you got Jared Lowe's Joker with the suit, the little tie, the little flower here on the right. And it's just, it's just really dope. And some of them actually do have glow in the dark. And, we need to get a Funko Pop of, the Blaxes. I do think we need to get a Funko Pop of like, the ships, the Imperium. And I wonder if they made any. Has Funko made any like Star Wars like AT walkers before? Because if so, they need to give us the walkers from Rebel Moon for a Funko Pop. That's what they need to do.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. I don't know. I don't really follow Funko Pops too much. I don't have that many. I think I only have two. I have the Jimmy one, and that I've showed off, and then I have that Flash one.
The Flash ones are pretty cool. I still need to get the others. I had the Michael Keaton one at one point, but I sold it. I just sold it, like it was a long time ago. But do you have any of the do you have all the Flash figures from McFarlane Toys?
I don't have that many McFarlane toys. I don't have that much money, unfortunately, but but I definitely need to get some of those Flash ones, especially since I've been fighting for Ezra Miller so much. I probably should have a lot more Flash stuff in my collection. But okay, so that we just saw Hagen right now. I still can't get over that's the Bruce Wayne guy.
Bruce Wayne
In the Snyder Cut?
Oh,
Remember?
yes, I know him. My bad.
I really love like Eris's and Sam's relationship in the director's cuts. Like you see it in the studio cuts, but you see it a lot more in these director's cuts.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm not going to get into spoilers or nothing, but there's like one scene. It might be. I think there's a possible chance you might know which one I'm talking about. But man, there's so much I want to talk about. But I ain't gonna spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it, because I just want to see y'all's reaction of this.
Fair enough.
And yo, Batman, like Cassius, I read the novels recently. Well, I actually listened to them through the Kindle feature on Amazon Prime, because there's like you can buy the books online. You can actually like listen to a narration of it. And Cassius is like, yo, ain't gonna get any spoilers, but he actually has a backstory in the books, and it's not in the movie.
Oh,
Yo, you guys have to listen to it. Like it's Like it's your priority. Like it's so good. It even does Emerald Agates Noble too.
Yeah, this was another interesting thing with the director's cuts is those guys. And then like I love this. Like they're spying on them, and then they're secretly spying on the village, and then Jimmy's secretly spying on them. I love that.
Jimmy's Batman, bro.
Well, he's like a combination of Batman and Superman. He has like Batman's kind of stealth, but he has Superman's strength.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He takes freaking magma blasts, which I will say this too. They're not really like laser blasts. It's like the guns are shooting out lava. It's like what I was talking about in my Rebel Moon Theory video with the guns. It's more of like magma shots. They're not like tiny little lasers that just go through the shot and you just have the little one tiny little hole. It's literally a magma shot. It's literally shooting up like gushes of lava, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, but still, though, just the fact that he takes those blasts.
Exactly. And oh gosh, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh God! Oh, this part always makes me sad. It's like she's like, "Oh, Noble's dead," and they're all excited, only to get the bad news. Which, minor spoiler, but if you saw part 1, you know he's alive, and if you saw the end of the movie, you know he's alive. So,
oh, for those of you guys that may not know, I think I told you about Dan. Yeah, I told you about it. A couple of weeks ago, I actually got to meet the voice actor, because not only this dude voices Knuckles in the new Sonic games, he also voices Fafnir from Twilight of the Gods, and I got to meet him a couple weeks ago. And it was so dope meeting him. I approached him. I was talking about like, I'm a big fan of the Knuckles games. I'm also a huge fan of Fafnir from Twilight of the Gods. And I was, he was like, that was a fantastic show. And I was telling him about Zack Snyder as well. And he was telling me, he was like, he was like this. He's like, dude, Zack Snyder is an awesome person. Because I got to, because we actually got to, we went to a screening together for, the cast and crew member only. And he's like this child that is, very excited to show his like new projects and all that stuff. And it's just like I said, bro, each and every single person that has worked with Zack Snyder has had an awesome, time with him. Like they've had no bad experiences with working with the dude. Like he's an awesome guy to work with. And at first, I actually, when he was telling me that, that he went to a screening with the cast and crew only, at first I thought he went to the Upper Worlds of Zack Snyder. I was like, wait, did you go to that? Because if he did, I was going to be like, did you meet Skywalker and Leon over there? And I was just like, it was like, oh, this was just, for the cast and crew only. I was like, oh. But guy was awesome. Shout out to Dave B. Mitchell, the voice actor for Knuckles, and Fafnir from Twilight of the Gods. It was awesome.
That's so cool. That's really cool, CurlyRay, that you got to meet him. I mean, and we both got to meet Sofia Boutella herself, Cora.
Exactly. We rocked
and
out.
She's
nice, bro. She's so nice.
Yeah, like she was like really friendly meeting her, and I was so nervous because I'm so terrible at meeting celebrities. But it's
I'm kind of like with you too back there. Like there's some times where like the first time I met Sean Shamel, Goku's voice actor, and the first time I got to meet him, like he was doing like some voice expressions at the booth, and we weren't allowed to like pull out our phones to record or take pictures, all that. So while he's doing that, I pulled out my phone to see if I can get a recording of it. And so Jamel was like, "Hey, are you recording?" I was like, "Oh, we can't do that? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." And he's like, yo, that's fine. But, they do handle it out well. And, I got to meet him again a couple years or a few months after. And, it's so dope getting to meet him, even though I get really nervous meeting these people sometimes. Like, like when I'm, talking to them. It just feels sometimes it can just be a little bit awkward. But at the end of the day, it's awesome getting to meet them, and I'm pretty sure that they appreciate the fact that you're going up there and showing their support.
Exactly. And I just like that earlier conversation we just saw with them. I like that the director's cuts add those little bit of details about like why they're using the grave. It's like just like kind of going with the knowledge that they had. It's like, they think Noble's dead, so they're using that to change their strategy. Just little, like, it's kind of like this. Like, I love the studio cuts of Rebel Moon, but now that I've seen the director's cuts, I don't ever want to watch the studio cuts again. It's like BVS. It's like, I mean, yeah, I could watch it, but why would I? It's like, again, it's my whole lobster without butter analogy. It's like, yeah, you can eat lobster without butter, but if you have the option to just eat it with butter, why not just eat it with butter? There's no reason to just have the inferior version of it. It's just the same thing with this too. It's like, now that I have the studio cuts out, I don't have a reason to watch.
And that's the thing too. Yeah, the scene that we're on right now. Another thing about those scenes is that you understand why they are having those, moments. For Cora, for example.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Brogu's comment. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, what's up, Broku? I saw you in the comments earlier, but I was talking a lot. But yo, what's up, Broku? But the scenes right here where they're together, and when she's doing it with what was that dude's name?
Oh,
not
Dan.
Gunner. Den, yes. She's looking up. She's not looking directly in her eyes or his eyes.
Oh yeah, yep.
Exactly.
Like
she was just wanting to get it. And then the other one, on this one, she actually has a relationship with Gunner.
Yes. See, exactly. And like people like hate the director's, like some people like criticize the director's cuts for being too like R-rated, too new, too sexual. I mean, first of all, we're adults here. And like, I'll be honest, like I don't necessarily like them showing sex for the sake of it, but if it works for the story, I'm all for it.
But if James Gunn chose it, it's a masterpiece, right?
Well, again, like my issue when James Gunn has stuff like that, it's just juvenile. Like it just comes off as very juvenile. It's like when you show this kind of stuff, like what Zack Snyder is showing right now, you have to hit it really well, or else it comes off very juvenile. Zack Snyder does it very well, so it hits the story.
That's the thing here. I don't care. Like, I don't mind jokes. Just let them hit. If they hit, that's fine. If they don't hit, and if they continue to not hit, then that's a problem.
Exactly. And I mean, not that Zack Snyder does a lot of like big on humor as like other directors are, but he does, when he does humor, it's really good. But he tells more serious movies, which I do like.
Yeah, I was going to ask you this, Bad Dan, and this is to everyone else in the comments. What if Henry Cavill ends up being a Rebel Moon at some point, which I think he will? What do you think? What role he'll take? Do you think he will take it as a villain, an anti-hero, or maybe like a Han Solo type character? Now, for me, I prefer to go to as maybe as an anti-hero type character, because with him possibly being Superman.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, you're fine. I think with an anti-hero type character, I think he would do. For me, in my opinion, I think we'd be better off. I just feel like that type of role fits with him, even because the thing about it is, he would be playing as two villains, like Superman in ZSJL 2 and 3. Which, well, I know it's not like a villain thing, since I know he's controlled by Darkseid.
But still, it's still, you have to play that evil character. Like when Tom Welling played Clark Kent on Red Kryptonite, still playing an evil character, even if it's like not the character's fault story-wise. Acting-wise, it's still the same concept.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to hear yours, Batman, too. What do you think he could be?
I mean, I'm kind of biased right now because, I was close with Mikey Sutton, who scooped that he would be a Han Solo character in this movie, in Rebel Moon 3. So I'm going to kind of stick with that. And it's so funny because when I first saw Part 1 studio cut and saw Kai, and yep, Send Havoc saying again, Cavill shot first.
Cavill
And
shot
also,
first.
Hashtag Justice for Fives, since we're mentioning Star Wars briefly. But
Yep.
anyway, I was like seeing Kai's like, well, Kai's kind of the Han Solo character, and then sure enough, not quite. So, and then also, as you can see, my one YouTube short, I did even ask Sophia Patella who she would want to work with from Zack Snyder's Justice League, and she said Henry Cavill.
Superman. Literally Superman. Now, I didn't ask. Well, the only questions I did ask her, I asked her if she's seen Zack Snyder's, DC trilogy. She said yes. And the other question was, and this wasn't at like the panel where she had like all the people in there in the audience. This was like when I met her individually.
Yeah.
I was asking her if Zack Snyder had any plans for her for DC Universe. Now, she told me that you might have to ask him. And I think it's because you can't really answer a whole lot or anything like that. But she did. That's what she told me. But it was so awesome getting to meet her, man. I still got my autograph of hers over here on my shelf.
I have her autograph too. But I just want to kind of talk about this scene real quick. I love this scene right here because it adds a lot more to Belisarius' motivations. It shows how stupid the king was too. It's like the king should have killed him. It's like he kind of like TheCurlyRay. Did you ever watch Game of Thrones?
No, I didn't see Game of Thrones, unfortunately.
Okay, well, basically, there's this one ruler. If basically his sister-in-law, they were mad that his brother was killed in a trial by combat. Basically, kind of like a clean kill. Basically, the brother agreed to the trial by combat, yada yada yada. And then the sister-in-law swore vengeance and betrayed the king. The king let her live, only to let's just say it didn't end well. I'll say that.
It kind of reminds me of Orochimaru from Naruto or Aizen from Bleach, where they turned out to be these nice people that are working for the Hidden Leaf Village or the Soul Society, and they turn out to be these traitors. And it's crazy. And you guys are talking about Mikey, man. I look back at these old streams y'all used to do before I started talking to y'all. Man, I wish I got to meet Mikey, bro. I really wish I got to meet him, man. And he seems like a really nice person. He's not. He seemed like an actual scooper. And I'm not particularly. What I'm trying to say is that he seemed like a really nice person to talk to.
Yes.
Where if you're just wanting to have someone to talk to, you can talk to them. Because the thing is, when it comes to these people, I am not somebody that will literally just want to talk to these people so that way I can get clicks and views and that stuff. That's the devil's work. Me, I have a heart. And for what I've seen, he seemed like a very kind and genuine person. And he just seemed like someone awesome to talk to. Like how I'm talking to you, Bat Dan. I didn't know who you were until a few streams back in I think it was actually ZSJL Day. And I've been, seeing y'all streams. And like, man, I want to talk to these people, and that's why I'm here. I'm glad to, have a friend I can talk to like you, and it's so awesome rocking out with you guys.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you kind of joined this community in a more public format.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I've been looking on here. I've been seeing, I've been looking at certain things in different ways to represent for this stuff, and because there's just certain things I'm seeing people not really doing. I'm like, why aren't they doing it? Well, if they're not doing it, cool. I'll just dress up and I'll go out and represent. That's what I've been doing. LAPD is coming.
Yep, that it is. Which, again, we're talking to the movie. Want to clarify that. See, I just love that little detail right there where you see Princess Issa smiling at Korra again when Korra knows she's about to betray her.
Yeah.
Or I guess she doesn't know yet. She's kind of on that fence right now. But again, this little backstory just adds so much more. And it just shows, it's like BVS all over again. It's like, it only takes a few minutes of context to change an entire narrative of a scene, of a story.
Yo,
Like,
Belisarius, I'm really wanting to know how evil he really is. Now I know we see him kill the royal family, but there is more. It's got to be more than just that. Like in part one, where he's literally, where he would crucify. If he would crucify Noble, he didn't do his mission. But we know how that ends up. So,
yep. I'm just. Hold on. Sorry, hold on a second. Gotta find.
yo, and the shots, like this scene where she's flying into where the royal family's going into the king's gaze while there's construction.
The James Gunn reference is coming up right now.
Oh, really? Hold
Yeah.
on. Which one? Which one? Or wait for it to pass by. I'm gonna see which one you're talking about.
Do they say? What do they say the name? I don't know if they said it already. We might have.
Oh. Yeah, I saw it. Peacemaker. That's. Yo.
Yeah.
I saw that.
So we all would. Sorry, we're signing Brogu's comment. We all would, Brogu, and hopefully we'll get it. Hopefully we'll get those two movies back to back. I know Sin Havoc's been kind of hinting it will be episodic, which I'll be honest. I mean, look, following the rules of what our official asks are for the Soul campaign, I'm not going to complain if we get it episodic, but I'm still a fan with preferences, and I'm not going to lie, I would prefer those to be movies just because that's what the other just for consistency and format, but I'll still take what I can get.
And that's the thing. ZSJL 2 and 3 may not be even titled ZSJL 2 or 3. You could be titled something else.
Oh, I mean, sure they will be, but for now, we just call it ZSJL 2 and 3 because we don't know what else we would call it. I'm sure it'll be titled something else. Like, I mean, I have a theory it could be like Zack Snyder's Nightmare League and Zack Snyder's Crisis League or something like that.
Yeah, I think, because I've been thinking about McFarlane toys too much. So I think we're about to get a figure of Deathstroke, Joker, and ZSJL, and maybe if we got a figure of that Flash from the Nightmare sequence, along with Cyborg and his cloak, we had Deathstroke in there as well, and the Joker. If we had the Nightmare League figures, those things are going to sell out instantly.
Yeah, we need okay, sorry, we'll resume this conversation, but I just gotta acknowledge this scene right here.
Oh, absolutely, because the royal family.
But I like that we saw the context building up to this scene, though. And then I remember when I was watching the studio cut of this, I kept waiting for Cora to do the right thing, and
Josh Herrera, I think he was actually talking about this on one of the other. I think in one of the watch-alongs. Oh, ooh, went through his hand.
Definitely a lot more blood in this version, which makes sense. People bleed. As to answer Batman's question, tell me, do you bleed? And if you watch the director's cuts of these, they all bleed. So
you will. Ooh, the dropping through the throat.
And like I said before, I'm not for violence for the sake of violence, but I don't like the other extreme where you have to hide it either. This is a war movie.
And I've seen other things where about Zack Snyder's LAPD movies can be people are saying this is going to be the very first truly grounded movie. I'm just like, well, Zack Snyder's got a lot of grounded moments in his movies. Even this one, even with Rebel Moon, even though there's CGI in there, but it's kind of more grounded. You have Superman flying around and doing all that.
But I know what you mean. It's more of our world. This is how our world would actually react to it.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not going to get too far into this psychological thing, but we don't know what's out there. I mean, this stuff could happen one day, maybe. Well, Only time will tell. But see, again, I still just can't get over this scene. Like, when Belisarius did that, I like seeing this in the studio cut, I was just so shocked that he betrayed his own daughter. But what I like about the director's cuts, they kind of answer this question. Did Belisarius plan for this all along with Cora? No, he didn't. He just basically, when the king was about to sacrifice him, it was like, Belisarius is like, it's either Cora or Archelaus, I should say, or me. That was Belisarius's logic.
Yo, dang. That's the thing too, like, and this is what I think Joshua was talking about this. He was talking about how, like, this is what I think he told us, is that this scene kind of represents, how WBD, screwed up Zack Snyder, and how WBD screwed up the DCU, and that they're putting the blame on Zack Snyder, if you know what I mean. Like, Belisarius is WB, Cora Zack Snyder, WB killed DC, and then WB's trying to play Zack Snyder for it, if you get what I mean. It's like a
exactly. Well, it's funny because like Zack Snyder's still somehow responsible for the failure of DC after they moved away from him. Never mind the fact that DC didn't start failing the box office till after Zack Snyder left. Never mind that.
Yo, Zack Snyder responsible for the Peacemaker action figures not selling.
I mean, if that's the case, it's like if Zack Snyder must have a good fan base then.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is, Qatar. It's Holly Weird versus Zack Snyder.
Highly weird. A war movie that did not have any blood would be authentic, in my opinion.
Would not be,
yeah. I'm not a lover of blood and violence, but a war movie would have blood and violence. Yeah. And there's things, it's like with like American Sniper, Chris Kyle. That movie, was that was a war movie that had blood in it. Like, he was sitting there, like, taking shots. He was just sitting there all day. You had that one dude that was, their legend. Like, he was their sniper, or their biggest sniper. He takes this he took this shot from about maybe 2 to 5 miles and got him. And he could tell he got him. He was just shining out, and he was like, tango down. But yo, for anybody that hasn't seen American Sniper, that is a great movie. In fact, I actually have it with me. I actually have the Blu-ray, and I also saw it in the theater.
Never saw that one. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen that people are like, "How have you not seen this?" So,
yo, if they bring it over to Netflix at some point, which American Sniper is a WBD film or a WB film, so they could bring it over there at some point.
I really love this extra scene where they're like all smiling, like they all know that Cora and Gunnar did it. Again, it's like little details get added to this movie.
And the music in this scene, far from home, the wandering soul. And them going to work.
Zack Snyder's the only one to make farming like this interesting.
Yo, this seems more interesting than Farming Simulator. In fact, I think people started from... Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I find that very interesting, Guitar. Why is he missing this big Comic-Con? Do you notice that? It's like he never has time for these big events. I'm like, what is Gunn doing that's more important than these big events to promote his movie? That's my big question.
Oh, guys, listen up. I think I know what it is. Boo! Sorry. That mess up?
No, I don't think you... I just didn't hear what you said.
Oh. I'll say it again. Well, I was just saying boo. I just booed him really loud. Would you not hear me scream?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, boo!
I mean, I didn't hear it, maybe. But yeah, but exactly. That's the thing. That's exactly it. He's afraid he's going to be booed. That's why. He knows, like, because here's the reality of it. Getting rid of Cavill after he announced he was back, that was a bad move. Any other company would never have done something like that.
He got booed in Mexico.
Yeah, that's what Sin Havoc's been saying. And but honestly, I'm sorry, but Gunn deserves this. Maybe if they hadn't already announced Cavill was back, maybe they could have gotten away with this reboot more, but they already announced he was back. And, you know, whether it's fair to Gunn or not, the reality is when he accepted the job, that announcement had been made. So whether it's fair to him or not, he was responsible for paying that off. He chose not to, and this is his consequence he's going to receive now. So
now, one thing I will let you guys know, the only reason he didn't get booed over at New York Comic-Con was because that all of his bots and betas, only few were in the audience and nobody else was in there.
No, yeah, no. I mean, they made it look like it was so big by like showing the line of the entire Comic-Con, trying to say it was the line for Creature Commandos. I'm like,
so this big line over here that's pointing out to another direction is the line to the DCU panel. But what about this little small one over here that has that little sign saying DC Studios on it? Like, yo, the internet is not a real place. I'm telling y'all right now, it's just not. Now, I'm sorry if I have to say it, but it's just absolutely not. They're trying to make it look all bad because James Gunn's praise only exists on American X Twitter.
exactly. I love these extra scenes we see with like Cora like doing her, or not Cora, sorry, Nemesis doing her, like practicing her moves, and it's funny because it's like they like in this version the farming actually takes 2 days, and I thought they were like skipping scenes, and it's like, well, no, they weren't. They were just showing that, hey, this takes more than 1 day to do all that.
Dude, I would love to be on the set of a Zack Snyder film one day and doing all this work with like all the cast and crew members. Like, it looks so fun. And the thing is, now they actually did this harvesting outside. Like, they filmed this outside of the studio, and it wasn't like, you know, inside CGI things. And mind you guys, for anyone that may not know, I know a lot of us do know about this in here, but the wheat is real. They use real wheat, and they actually grew it. They didn't use plastic CGI wheat. It was real wheat that you can literally eat if you wanted to.
Yeah, they grew all that. Again, that's the whole point. Zack is practical effects, and, you know, like, don't do a special effect that you don't need. Yep, listen to Brad Cage, guys. Stop staring. But yeah, it was just funny when I saw this scene, I thought they were skipping all this other stuff that we see in the studio cut. It's like, well, no, again, they're just different order.
Yo, I love General Titus, bro. He's such a good character.
Yeah, I wonder how General Titus felt about being in a movie where the star bashed Snyder for no reason.
Yo, that VR Rebel Moon VR game, or it's not like a game. Well, it is, but it isn't. But it's like it's like a little. So there's like VR places you can go to, and they actually have like Rebel Moon spots where you can play like Rebel Moon VR. That stuff needs to be on like the Meta Quest if possible. If it does end up on there, I will be buying a Meta Quest just to play that Rebel Moon VR game. If it does end up on there at some point, but if we get more games or collabs other than Rebel Moon Bloodlines coming out, which there is a beta for coming out soon, I'm gonna say we'll probably get a collab. I don't know if it'll be a Fortnite collab, which kind of talking about Netflix has been doing a lot of collabs with Fortnite because we got Stranger Things, we had Arcane, we had, you know, there's a Gundam thing on there too, like a game mode. So hopefully they might bring Rebel Moon too. If they do, I am buying every single Rebel Moon skin that they bring to the game. And hold up a second, I'm getting a phone call.
This scene right here, it's so brutal. The fact that, again, the guy was just doing his job, and then Noble just kills him because he was so impatient about being released. And I don't want to say too much yet because I don't want to spoil this movie for those who haven't seen it. But See, and I like that they add the Kali on there too, because or they explain the Kali actually being alive. It's just like little details like this that's added to the director's cut. It answers the question, well, why did it take them so long to get to Velt? Well, that's why they had limited energy and they used it to pick up Belisarius. And at that point, they didn't have any more energy, so they had to take their time. Again, it's just small little details like that just make the movie so much better.
Hey, yo, I'm back. Sorry about that. I was on the
Okay,
phone.
no problem.
What were you saying earlier?
Oh, I was just talking about like the little details about like the Kali being alive, explaining the why they don't get to Velt quickly, why the Mother World doesn't get, or the Imperium, I should say, get to Velt quickly,
I wonder how
or why they don't get to Velt.
I hope we get that series soon about the Cowleys. I'm gonna have my mask off for a bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah, I wonder, are those shorts, are they going to be on like the actual Netflix platform, or I wonder if there's going to be on YouTube? That's why I'm wondering.
I mean, either way, we'll get to see them. Hopefully, they're on Netflix too. But I mean, if they're on YouTube, still watch it because they'll still be on Netflix's channel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, DC all the way. What is your Twitter? Because I see you've been putting in huge support for Rebel Moon Theory. I'm just being curious, like what your Twitter is.
No problem, Rogu. The whole point, though, is just as long as you're giving Netflix the engagement on Rebel Moon for the night, that's all that matters. I love that relationship Nemesis forms with that boy. Like that, you really see, you're reminded that, she's a mother who lost her kids. So essentially she's like kind of having that kind of motherly relationship with him. And I just really love that.
General Ty is still drinking the bottle.
Is he though?
We'll wait and see. He may stop doing it because that's what's been on his mind so much, but once he gives up trying to do it a lot, then that's where he kind of restores his own hope. Odd Organ Comics, thank you very much.
It's good to know. Thank you. Origin Comic 1, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm already following you. Very appreciate the support.
Yeah, we all do.
Yo,
appreciate
the fireflies in this scene, and then Jimmy in the back. Fire.
It's so funny. Now that you mentioned fireflies, you notice how Rebel Moon, compared to Star Wars, has more real animals?
Yes.
They actually have dogs and actual dogs and actual birds and actual bugs like you see on Earth. It's not like Star Wars. The only real animals they have are humans, which are we are technically considered animals.
I also about that too. Since they're connecting, since Army of the Dead and Rebel Moon and Twilight, the guys are connected. Are they because I've been hearing some people say oh, it's just 3 separate universes or anything like that, but they can still coexist. But at the same time, you got, I don't want to spoil it or nothing. Well, this ain't really a spoiler. You still got on Jimmy, you got the symbol of the serpent and the wolf, which, mind you guys, that was in Twilight of the Gods. So,
oh yeah,
I'm just are they set in the same universe? Maybe Rebel Moon is set way out in the future where certain animals have, evolved into these new creatures, kind of like how, the dinosaurs evolved from each period, where there were some evolved from, the Jurassic period to the Cretaceous, and then eventually later on they evolved into later on with the animals. So that's kind of like what I've been wondering about. And yes, DC all the way. I'm very nervous, or not nervous. Sorry, why did I say nervous? I am disappointed that we never got to see that board game. I really think it should have gotten released, but maybe that's the thing is maybe they can create something else that was based around that board game that got canceled, which I think could possibly happen. But the mobile game, I'm gonna try to stream that, but I'm definitely gonna have to get like a capture card so I can download it through my phone.
Yeah, at least it is disappointing that they did cancel that, but I'm glad they are expanding that in a lot of ways too. Like they're still doing like again the mobile king and Sin Havoc's back.
Yo, what's up, Sin Havoc? And one thing I heard when that mobile game when it was announced that board game got canceled, I'm hearing, they're screwing Zack Snyder. Netflix has no interest in Zack Snyder. Oh no, he's screwed. I'm like, 1 year later, and we're seeing a new Zack Snyder movie get announced over at Netflix.
Yeah, that's how disappointed they are, is that they give him more projects. I mean, again, people are like mistaking Warner Brothers for how normal companies work. Yeah, I know Warner Brothers does that for James Gunn, but that's not how companies normally work. And anytime, Broku. Anytime. I appreciate it. I appreciate people coming in. And again, as a reminder, we're getting ready for tomorrow's trending day.
Yo, I love this scene with personally, I actually prefer the Imperium troops when it comes to like. I prefer them more than the Stormtroopers, actually.
They can actually aim for one.
Well, the Imperium troops?
No, yeah, the Imperium troops can actually aim.
Yeah, definitely. The Stormtroopers, they'll be shooting walls. Their lasers will be going like every single index of the person, like around every single part of their body, like, and not even shoot them at all. But that's maybe because some of it's for kids and it's got to be in there for plot points. But
plus, back then people didn't have as high standards for stuff, so I think you get away with stuff more like having bad aims for the sake of the plot.
And this scene too with General Titus, like, him getting that experience of him losing his men, and you just see that rage he has in there, bro. Like, you don't really see this in the PG-13 version where it's just like, oh, he lost him. He's just like, oh, he's just sad. But in this, he's like, ah! If you know what I mean. It's like, oh, he's just angry right here.
Yeah. Again, I always love when I have these watch parties, and because I always have the lights off so I get a better picture. But then every time it's like the fire or some light goes off, you just see it light up in the background. I love that. Luckily, that's not enough for Netflix to take the stream down.
Yeah, I usually I kind of keep the volume turned down on my TV because.
Well, that's why I wear headphones, and that's why I kind of wear my headphones kind of funny. I like have them with. I learned I have to wear them with like one ear open and the other ear closed, because that way I can hear both you and the movie. Because I've noticed if I have them both on, I'm constantly missing the movie.
Wait, what did you hear? Did my mic? Did it pick up my TV?
No, didn't hear anything.
Okay, I was just double check. Yo, like this part where he's like bashing that dude's skull with the back of that gun, that's gotta hurt. And Skywalker's talking about how if you get hit with that part in the stomach, it hurts. Not saying I've never been hit by it, but I just remember him talking about it on the cartoons and serial.
Well, I mean, Sky is a veteran, so I mean, who knows what he's actually experienced?
He's a troop. He worked with the Mother World. If you get what I mean.
They didn't work for any evil people. We'll say. We'll try to be careful too much, because once you say veteran, then it gets political. But
the thing is, DC all the way, is because the reason why people hate Rebel Moon is because it has Zack Snyder's name on it. And those people probably aren't even real. They're probably a bunch of bots.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, you didn't like Zack Snyder's DC. Zack's moved on to other projects, and it's like you're hating on those too. It's really funny. Like, we've moved on more than you guys have.
Yeah, like people are like, they're like, man, he's just giving up on DC. Enjoy your Rebel Moon. Move on. Enjoy Rebel Moon. Then how come you're still hating on him even when Rebel Moon's out? Like that's why I'm wondering.
Yeah, I know. No problem, DC. But yeah, exactly. It's just ridiculous. And not to say too much right now, but I like the placement of this scene. I guess you don't see this exact scene, but like this of Melissa's story. I like that placement of this scene better than I like it in the director's cut. We'll say it, or in the studio cut.
Oh, yeah, right in the skull.
I'll be honest though, for ZSJL 2 and 3, I hope Zack Snyder does the exact format of Rebel Moon, where he does 2 Netflix cuts that are PG-13 and 2 R-rated cuts. I hope that's how they do it.
They're gonna have to do that. And let me tell you,
I mean, I know Sin Havoc was saying on Night Shift in the chat that's going to be episodic, but I kind of hope that changes, because I think that would be a much better rollout. Because again, keeps the conversation going longer, and Zack can do his real story in addition to the PG. And plus, with Netflix, it's not like if it were Max doing it, I could understand them wanting to do a series over a movie because they release them week by week. Netflix doesn't do that. So to me, there's no reason to really do episodes because it doesn't really add anything of value.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like another thing, I do believe they will probably do the PG-13, they'll probably do the 2 cuts thing for Justice League 2 and 3. You want to know why? Legos and merchandise.
Yeah. Well, because again, I know there's rumors of DC being for sale, and, I discussed that yesterday with Zod and Josh, but for now, that's not happening. I'm saying, like, right now, that's not confirmed. So, Warner Brothers, we're still going to talk like Warner Brothers. Just real quick. When I saw that in the trailer, I was so disappointed seeing that scene in the movie, because in the trailer, I'm like, oh, Blood Axe is alive. Darian is alive. And I'm like, no, flashback. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Back to what I was.
It was about
merchandise. Yes, merchandise. Yes. Warner Brothers is going to want to make some merchandising money too. That's going to be part of the agreement, and when they make this deal. So
that's the thing too. We got BVS Lego figures. We got Man of Steel Lego figures. We don't have any of ZSJL, unfortunately. But we do have some of Justice League, but the only thing I'll include there is the Steppenwolf figure and the Superman figure. Even though those look cool, but I prefer the black suit. But if we had like Lego sets of ZSJL 2 and 3, those things are gonna sell out like instantly. They are going to sell.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the reason why we didn't get anything is because when the Snyder Cut was coming out, Warner Brothers was trying to hide it as much as possible.
Oh, yeah. And we, as the fans, were doing the promotions.
Yeah. And yes, I know what you mean, Qatar. Episodic means miniseries. Yeah, I know. And again, obviously, as the rules for Cell, as long as it's live action, Zack Snyder, I will accept it. But I'm just saying, as a consumer with a preference, I would just prefer the movie format, just because that's what the other parts of the story were, and I just prefer a consistent format. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, obviously, again, if that's how it's done, then great.
Speaking of that.
Yeah, I know DC all the way. It's definitely being sold, especially seems to be sold in parts. Oh, nice.
If I can get my camera, I have my mask off for a bit, but this is what it looks like. Kind of like I wish I can clear it up a bit, but that's the nightmare. That's the Nightmare Batman Lego minifigure I got. I ordered this separately on eBay. I didn't actually order the Lego set it came with, but I got a lot more of these. There's some Man of Steel ones where it comes with like the Kryptonian ships, and it has these like missiles you can shoot them out with. Not like where you have to like push them and to come out. They actually have to like it's like a little trigger you just like pull and it just shoots the missile and it goes pretty far. But I need to save up and try to get those later on because I'm like I said, I'm also the one paying bills too, and I don't have a lot of money to buy that stuff. But I'm mostly saving up for like the McFarlane toy stuff and even the Rebel Moon extras because I need those too. I gotta talk about them on my channel as well. But the thing about that is, I'm the one that pays for them. Netflix doesn't send it to me. I buy them myself and then review them.
Well, yeah, I know that. I know that's Sin Havoc. It's more of, and again, Sin Havoc. I know because I know there's a chance you are connected with people. I know there's a chance, not guaranteed. I will respect whatever Zack Snyder decides. I will respect. I mean, yeah, and that's how I suspect they will do it though too. If they could still do it in that chapter format too.
And also another thing is about Nemesis right here. I think there's actually a statue of her with those clothes on. Let me see if it's available because I think it is. Because I remember seeing that. I just don't know if it ever got sold on or not.
And let's be honest, no one's really excited for this, DC. I mean, I think that's part of why Gunn got the job. No one wanted it because they knew that DC was going to be sold or that Warner Brothers was going to be sold. So they knew it wasn't a stable job.
Oh, this is from Dynamic Select Toys. Not available. I wonder why it's not available. Toy was for $50.
Well,
it comes out this month. I'm just talking about the statue for Nemesis. Yo, Qatar, you're absolutely right about that.
Well, I'm going to go further. I don't even think destroying the suit was necessarily the issue itself because, I mean, that was a spare suit. It wasn't like the Man of Steel suit. The issue is Gunn's reaction to it being destroyed. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He was like, yo, Tom's a great actor. Like, imagine being, I don't want to go into much detail because, we're doing a Rebel Moon tree, but that's just so much disrespect to the fans, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Man, the Griffins, I want to see more of those. I like those creatures.
Yeah, I do too.
And more of that world to that planet. Like, that's the thing, bro. There's so much they can expand on with this series. And from what I'm hearing, if they're going to do a Rebel Moon animated series, I'm hearing that they're trying to get the studio that did Happy Feet and Legend of the Guardians Alpha Gahul to do this new animated series. I think that may work out. Or, just maybe, they could do like a Clone Wars type series. What I mean by that, in terms of like, I'm talking about in terms of like animation wise, they could do something like Clone Wars or maybe Arcane.
Well, that's what I would like for, honestly, if I want to be careful how I say this because I don't want people to say, oh, bad things for animate the Snyderverse, but that's exactly what I think they should do for ZSJL, like a story between ZSJL 1 and 2. Kind of like after we get ZSJL 2 and 3, which I'm calling it for now, Sin Havoc, even if it's episodic until it's announced, ZSJL 2 and 3. Anyways, I just think like an animated story during like that 10-year gap, that would be cool.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the only Snyderverse animation I'm fine with, but not a main story and not the Batfleck movie or Man of Steel 2 when I say this.
Absolutely. Remember when Rock Talks was talking about how they could do an animation of the dark side fight during like way out in the past? They could do that, but with the Twilight of the Gods animation. That's fine. Justice League 2 and 3 in the Batfleck movie? No, they ain't getting animated. That is live action or nothing right there.
I don't remember that so much.
Orcus Steel. What do you guys think of the Orcus Steel? It being live and at the heart of Jimmy's. There's something I want to talk about between that, but y'all, I'm not gonna spoil it for anything for anyone that hasn't listened to Rebel Moon the Seneschal.
Okay.
Because
I
there's some things in there that I'll discuss on on Rebel Moon Theory as well.
Do you know what's kind of funny with this scene? I love how they don't give Gunnar a chance to tell his story. Is that it's like everyone else gets a story, but not Gunnar. And just Qatar, just to clarify, Jay Oliva also said that it was a spare suit. It was a ton. I mean, he also said that Ben Affleck wanted to direct a Batman movie, so we know he's a liar. So I believe Jay Oliva over Gunny Poo.
Man, James Gunn's going to try to walk away from when something, may not do well. And like I said, I don't thrive for downfalls, and I don't, hope for downfalls because I don't want any of this stuff to fail. I just don't.
Well, it's not good for the DC brand, but I think my big thing though too is like this movie is just so disrespectful to fans for how it was done, how it was conceived, that I don't have. I mean, put like this: I want it to fail. If it fails, I want it to fail on its own merits. That's the way I'm going to look at it.
Exactly, it's going to fail in its own merits. Like I said, even if this movie becomes the highest-grossing movie of all time, it's still not enough to say WBD. It would have to take more than that to save the company's problems right now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's like causing other movies to fail so like this one can be better is not a good strategy.
We got Tarek dancing to the music.
See, this scene like right here where the kid's like about to prank Nemesis. Again, I thought they skipped that scene because in the studio cut, it's right after that music scene where Nemesis looks at him in slow mo.
They place this scene differently in the studio cuts or in the Netflix.
Well, it's like there's like a scene in like part 2, in part 1 of the director's cut that's in part 2 of the studio cut when they get the ship out, when they pull the ship out.
Oh, another thing is on the planet Dagus, there's like more you can explore on Dagus in that Rebel Moon VR game because you're with Devra Bloodaxe and you're fighting against the Imperium, and there's like a part where Hermada is like up at like the balconies and all that, and she's coming straight down to try to get you, and it's like it looks super dope, and I think it needs to come to MetaQuest or maybe Steam. If they do that, I'm pre-ordering that. One of the comic series for all characters, Nemesis Next, on what tells the story of the arena. Yo, that would be super dope. Yeah. And even in animation.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, animation can be good for all these spin-off type things, as long as it's not for a main storyline.
And I want to see more of the Jimmies, too. Now, we got the Seneschal and saw the creations of the Jimmies. But, yo, Bartholomew was a dope character in that podcast. A fantastic character. And I wonder if we're going to see more of him like comics or animation. That's going to be crazy, bro. I cannot wait for that. And for those of you guys that may not know who Bartholomew is, he is a Jimmy as well. But he's different. I'm wondering. I'm about to do some research on that DC all the way because not very too sure. I think it's set maybe during it because Hermana's still on Dagus, because Dagus used to be like a jungle planet where there'd be a lot of forests, and that's why why there was a spire there. But whenever the Imperium came in, used the planet as a mining facility, Armada lost her home, and that's why she has trouble, letting her babies go because of the environment that she's in. It's hard for her to, grow out her young in a mining facility. She has to be out in the forest or in a rainforest type planet, and that was the same on Saru, where that planet that General Titus was put on. It used to be like a bunch of forests and all that, and then the Imperium came out and destroyed all that. And this scene's pretty hard too because they're about to be showing the flags. I want them. What they need to do, they need to give us the other banners like Korra's, where you can like order them and hang them up on your wall. I'm gonna see if I can get all of them. There's 2 other ones. I hadn't got those yet because this one is from the movies. The other is like a blue and white. Then the other is a black and tan. Black and tan for like the Wii and all the other symbols. But I just went with this one because this one is from the movies.
I really like that one. That one's really cool.
And there's a BBS poster I also have above my bed.
I really love that scene we saw just now with Millis and Hagen. Just another little scene in this movie that's in this cut that's not in the studio cut that just makes this so much better.
Those flags, though. They didn't make some costumes, though. I also like costumes you can buy is what I mean, because I know I can make mine, but we gotta see people out there dressed up. Even the kids. I like to see them go as the Jimmies. Oh, DC all the way. Another thing, if you're still there, I have not done a taste test of the G Fuel in that video because I'm kind of trying to stay a little bit healthy because I don't want to have any heart attacks or anything like that. I'm just being very overprotective. Maybe in a little bit or later on the channel, I will do a taste test of this in a separate video. So I was just wanting to let you know about that. I did see the comment you made. I just wanted to make sure that you know about this. Okay.
Health comes first.
Exactly. This is pretty cool too, because this is what the cup looks like. You got this right here. You got Netflix on the top. Right here at the bottom, looks like that map that the Imperium uses. You got G Fuel. And I haven't opened this. And so you got it right here. You got Korra, Jimmy. It's all pretty cool. I hadn't opened it yet, but I'm gonna try to do a taste test of it whenever I can, because like you said, health comes first. Like all this merch. It's like I bought all this merch like right before Rebel Moon came out in December. What were you gonna say about that?
I love how Den gets a flag in this cut too, because Den doesn't get a flag in the studio cut.
Yes, flag looks dope too. And then there's Korra's. Hey, why is it there? I thought it was right here.
So many great scenes in this movie.
You see Nemesis, like when she's holding on to that blind, she's still having that feeling of, the love of a child and all that.
But also the fact that she can't really feel the flag with her hands.
Yeah, that's the sad part too. And you see, bro, it's just those small little details that what makes these scenes magnificent.
Exactly. She could feel it against her face, but I know it's not the same. But what I love about seeing this too is like seeing the town be a community. That's what's really important, because you want to have a reason to root for this town.
Exactly. It's just like if everybody's lazy, then it's not really a town. It's just a ghost town. They just, they want to make this village feel like you're in the city. Like there's company.
Exactly.
Hold on. I need to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Yep, no problem. Yeah, I could never dance like these guys are. Oh boy, this. Hold on a second. Sometimes you can't decide if you're hot or cold. You know how that goes. What a great voice. He has such a great voice. To quote Bane, what a lovely, lovely voice. Such a better role than Shazam, or Hizam, as should be recalled. It's really funny how Zack takes a lot of characters that are in goofy movies like Guardians of the Galaxy and Shazam and gives them serious roles. Just shows these actors' range. I also think Titus was in Guardians of the Galaxy too, I think. Or like when I say Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I mean Guardians of the Galaxy as well, not TOO, not TWO. And there's Jimmy. But yeah, guys, again, just remember, tomorrow, I mean, if you're watching this live or on replay the same day, SellZSJLToNetflix, SellSnyderVerseToNetflix. Got to show the hype for Rebel Moon. Or not, or Zack Snyder Justice League 2 and 3. Shows the hype for Zack Snyder in general. Show the hype for Zack Snyder's projects, which is why we're watching Rebel Moon right now. Showing engagement for one of Zack Snyder's original projects on Netflix. See, and just, and again, another scene like this right here. Just seeing Nemesis, I'm bad at names, people. I'm sorry, I'm bad at names sometimes. Just seeing Sam and Ares just sitting on the roof. Just, again, another bonding moment between these two. Yeah, what was his world like? It's great before the Mother World showed up.
All right, I'm back.
Yep, no problem. Gotta go, you gotta go.
Yep, I had to go. Hey, it's the scene I was talking about earlier with Sammy and Harris.
Yeah. I love this scene so much. Yeah, Sam wants him to stay. See, what's funny is like this movie, there's a lot more hints of them being in a relationship. Like in the studio cuts, it's like you really don't see anything till like the very end where they kiss. But here you have a lot more moments like this. And one, they actually do kiss here.
And then the it's about to pop up anyways, but the Hawkshaws are spying on them.
Yep. But we know they won't get too far. Or, well, who knows? And with Jimmy looking at them, you wonder how far they're really going to get.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And also, In the novels, you get more at the Hawkshaws too, but I'm not gonna say what it is because they get deep in those novels. I do kind of like how they use those old because the way that they designed the equipment is mostly been based around stuff that was used back in World War II. Because in the King's Gaze, where Brett Colbert fires the cannons like the can room, that was based around an old submarine room from World War II, and they kind of took those inspirations from there, kind of like what the equipment the troops use with the goggles, where he has his lines keep it covered. It's all it's some of that stuff from World War II.
Oh, really? That's really interesting. Zach does his homework. Zach pays attention to these little details like that.
Zack Snyder did his homework when he did Twilight of the Gods.
Oh, yeah.
That is a good question. I definitely think it will be also about her people, and maybe we'll see flashbacks of her family, of her losing her child in comic form. And then maybe, just maybe, I do believe that there could be some things. They might show things that happened in the novels in that comic. I feel like that's what they're probably going to do. Just maybe. But I could be wrong.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to show flashbacks to her home world. Because, I mean, if you're going to see more of her story, you got to see that. You got to see what her home world was like.
And then there's a certain scene in this film where Zack Snyder is outside, holding, it looks like an M1911 and shooting out the targets. Y'all get what I mean?
Yeah. See, what I like about this, how they're getting ready, though, I like that. See, it was something I was really worried about before Part 2 Studio came out. It's how are the farmers going to beat the Mother World in a way that doesn't seem like BS? Because the Mother World are trained soldiers. These are farmers. But Zach found a way to make it work. Home field advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like is they accept it's hey, we don't have time to train people, so we just have to get people who are just naturally good at some of this stuff to just be on the front lines.
Ancestors. It all kind of depends, in my opinion. What I think is we may see a backstory of her people long before Nemesis. Maybe how they became, because in the trailer for Rebel Moon Bloodlines, you can see it looks like one of her people has these different blades. They're not the holding swords. They're these other ones, but they're these giant, blades that are you hold them across these little arms or whatever. I can actually show you guys a picture of that. Rebel Moon Bloodlines. So right here. I'll do this. I'll download the picture real quick. That way it'll be better quality. So right here. You guys see that? Look at how big those blades are.
Oh yeah.
And those are different from what we saw in the films. And also the fact that Jimmy is using a bow and arrow, which pretty dope. I'm ready for that beta, bro. Or I'm ready for the game to come out. Now I think it's coming out. Here. think it's coming out in 2025. Or in March of 2025. I know it's coming out next year, but I'm still trying to wonder. I don't know if we got a specific date on there or not. And I think the game is set after part 2, from what I've heard, because, well, if I'm correct about this, the Cryptia guards. Well, I don't want to spoil it. Well, I'll wait when we get done watching the movie before I talk about this.
Okay.
They have a drop ship. Prepare the transmit.
Uh-oh, what's gonna happen?
I wonder. See, like that transmitter right there. This looks like something. It looks like something like old school, like World War II. They don't use the ones like in the Star Wars ones where you got the hand, you got the little virtual thing, and then Jimmy's smashing this Hawkshoul's skull into the rocks, and then hitting them with a booster, and then grabbing on his neck, snapping and spinning around, punching dude right in the face. He's about to literally step on this dude. Boom!
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, I knew that they weren't going to get that far because Jimmy was spying on them the whole time. So, I mean, there was only so much the Hawkshaws were going to be able to accomplish. Mm-hmm. But also, too, the fact is...
the music in this scene is fire. Like, we were chorus flying in the ship.
Yeah.
With the score too. Like, so what were you saying about that? Sorry if I cut you out.
Oh, yeah. Well, the fact that they weren't in the studio cuts at all, I knew they weren't going to have that much of a difference in the plots. They were only going to impact the plot so much. So that's why I knew when I was watching the director's cuts that the orcs weren't going to have, or the Hawkshaws weren't going to have that much of an impact.
Yeah. Yo, I'm also have to do I might do a trailer breakdown of Bloodlines, because I'm looking at the trailer and some of the tanks look really different than the ones in the movies, like the walkers. They just look a little bit really different than the ones in the films. And I gotta do a trailer breakdown. I'm gonna have to watch that a few times, but there are some other things I need to get prepared for before I do that.
But yeah, I'm sure, regardless, I'm sure it's going to be great.
And there's going to be a lot of people playing.
And it's so funny, she calls him James, and because it was like Josh, I think, was telling me that Jimmy's actually a derogatory term for them.
That's the thing. That's why Jimmy's my favorite character in this movie. Not only because he's a badass character, but it's like he's somebody that's been lost, and he's like remembered and found out who he has been for a while. Because like when they were still working the Imperium, they got those cloaks and all that. But then this Jimmy, since he's found out and truly found himself again, he tries to make that same form again. And that's the thing about Princess Asia. She promised there'd be no more suffering for the Callies, and they would let them go. But they're still using them.
Yeah. Because they took over or Balisarius took over. And it's funny, it's like they, like it was like the Hawkshaws earlier were like, we're on the same side. It's like, well, no. They specifically serve the line of the slain king, not the mother world. So the instant those two no longer align, the Jimmys switch sides. I just love Anthony Hopkins too, like as the voice of Jimmy. He does such a great job.
What else has Anthony Hopkins has been? Because this is actually the first movie that I knew him from. And I know he's playing like older movies, but
You haven't seen the Thor movies?
who does he play? Is he
Odin.
playing Odin? Oh,
Yeah,
he
that's
does
Odin.
play Odin? Oh, okay. I did not know that. I thought that was Sam Newell. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, that's Odin.
Because my brother was telling me that. He was like, he plays Odin. I was like, what? I did not know that.
Yeah. See, and that's how you know, like, these director's cuts are in a different universe. Just like the fact the whole, like, you cannot win line set in two totally different scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's funny because, like,
It
well,
happens in the cave.
and it happens in the cave, and it's funny because, like, BVS, at first I thought it was like those two could be in the same universe, but there is one slight different scene. But see, and again, but here, I love, again, the director's cuts. I love how, again, it changes the whole context of the battle. It's showing that, again, they're reformatting some of their strategies based on what they know.
And now they're pulling out the weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
There's one shot. Well, you guys know about this shot if you've seen the Netflix cuts, but is that scene where one of the villagers pulls out a rocket launcher and Noble is looking down. He's like, it's hilarious. No, he's just doing strapping around.
Yeah, they're just getting the bombs out, getting ready. Just, again, just changing their strategy because now they know that they can't, as they said, fight defensively anymore.
If I was in there on the set, if I was getting ready, because I'm a computer guy, I'll be like, okay, my job is to make sure that everyone's connected to their printers, connected to the internet, make sure that the Ethernet ports work. That's
well, they don't have Ethernet internet on this planet.
Yeah, they probably have.
Well, they probably have some internet equivalent somewhere in this world. It's probably not called internet, but sure, there's some equivalent.
Yeah, because Star Wars does have, like, the games you can play, and then some form of like TV. Oh, go ahead. Does Star Wars have like news broadcast stuff, or is it just like?
I think they do. I'm sure they do. I mean, yeah, they do. I've seen them play before. I've seen them play in some of these. I've seen them play in Rebels, actually. I've seen some stuff like that play.
Yeah, they've been playing like I know they do. I know they play like the little games and stuff, but I just thought they had like TV and all that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like TV, yeah, they have. Yeah, they have stuff like that.
That's wonder if Rebel Moon's got the same thing too. Which, I mean, they probably do, because I mean, look at this technology right here. They're just looking through the. They're looking through the defenses right now, and it's dope.
It's just that, right now we're seeing Planet Vel, which is a farming planet. They're like a community that doesn't really use technology.
They use nature as their weapon.
See, this score right here sounds very similar to a ZSJL score.
Yeah, that's the thing, bro. They killed it with the score in this movie, in my opinion.
Did you see the movie this year that actually crossed over between Army of the Dead and Rebel Moon? Because it starred both Dave Bautista and Sofia Boutella.
I have still not seen that, and I need to. I was gonna go see it, But then I just got like super busy with a lot of things, and I still need to watch it.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a mindless action movie, but it's still really entertaining, and I really liked it.
And not only that, I still want to see it to even support the cast. Like, I want to still support David Stia and Sophia Boutella. And the carriers that they have for the ships, they look absolutely dope. So there's like, see right there, you got the carriers for the walkers. Those look stunning. They even look more stunning when you look at them in the cosmetology technology books, and you get to read on how they were able to bring those out. It's just super dope.
Yeah.
And then there's the fighters.
Well, no, in Killer's Game, no, she doesn't. Not the way that Dave Bautista did. She's not like the character. She's not like Cora.
Yo, I love that hat, bro. Especially when she's about to look around, like this scene right here. Like just moving around.
See, that's the thing about like these people, like, because you had Cora and Titus who both work for the Motherworld, so they know the Motherworld strategy, and they use that against them.
That's what I'm saying. They could do, if they were to partner up with EA, I know EA's not really that much good of a company, but they did well with the Battlefront games. They could literally make a Battlefield type game for Rebel Moon. Like, even looking at this scene, they could do something like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh no, I think it's Noble showing up.
Yep. Shouldn't have killed their leader. Why would they give you a warm welcome now?
I wonder if we'll see like a Darth Vader type character in Rebel Moon. Well, I mean, by Darth Vader type, I mean by like appearance wise.
I don't know. I feel like, they don't want to take too much stuff from Star Wars.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
It's already...
I gotta say, Agnes Noble is honestly the best antagonist of 2024.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
wise, he's just a phenomenal character. And I do believe we're getting an action figure of him in March or April, I believe.
Oh, really?
Along with General Titus and another Jimmy figure from Diamond Select Toys.
Oh, nice.
I might try to pre-order those. Or I might see if they're like available early.
Noble, you're underestimating them. Oh, there's Batman / Zeus. Richard Citrone.
Is that bell made of Orca steel?
What'd you say?
I was wondering what type of steel that bell is made of. What if it's made of Orca steel? Because I mean, it did take a shot from a lava blast.
Well, we didn't get there yet.
Well, yeah, my bad for that, but I just
It's okay. It's a minor thing.
yeah.
Don't do it, Cora.
You're okay. Now I can talk about it. So I wonder how. Well, it melted a little bit off, but yeah, shot right there. Oh, Phew.
I mean, it still had a hole in it. There's still a hole in that bell.
Yeah. I'm really still wondering what would happen if they like completed that portrait of Princess Issa with all the
Yeah,
teeth.
I've wondered that too, honestly.
Maybe I guess for like another decoration, and then possibly. Now here comes the real bell.
Yep.
Go, 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 go.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, they got one element of surprise. They had one move they could do by surprise, and they good one. They got rid of one of the ships.
Yo, 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 yo. Got him.
See, I like that you actually see that argument between Korra and Gunner, because you don't see that argument in the studio cut. It's just kind of like whatever at that point. But here you get that little bit of.
It's just like more of that dialogue and just more of those details you get, which is why I prefer these versions more, because you get more of those details.
Yeah, same here.
Ooh. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Yep.
Ooh. Oh, I gotta run. Oh. Get up, soldier. I want a relic of those guns so bad. I think they're selling one of them, but it's about $1,500. I'm just like, oh, I gotta sell my own house to get that. Yo, 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 yo.
Damn. Again, very brutal. Again, but it's war. At the end of the day, it's war. So that's how war is.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I just love that line. It's like, you know, like, oh, I'm about to die. Oh wow.
He's like, oh shit, I'm dead. Now the music, there's like music that plays in the studio cuts and right here where she's like putting down her swords on the ground during this pose, but it's not in the.
Well, because I think again, this is a lot. The other one they had to kind of rush through it more, so they had to kind of chop it up a little differently.
Yep. Here it comes. Yo.
I'm just saying, like, look at like what Zack does with a Netflix budget. Like people are saying, like Netflix couldn't do ZSJL 2 and 3. Look at this big. Look at like how good this is.
Yo, I believe the budget for that LAPD movie is going to be about maybe around $70 million.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be that big of a budget, honestly. There's no reason for it to be a huge budget.
I think Phil was talking about that, how it was going to be something lower like that. Yo! Blasted on that Krypton guard. Yo, yo. And everybody, please make sure to like the video, share out the content, and subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. Share out the YouTube algorithm.
Shares it. Exactly. Thank you, TheCurlyRay. I appreciate it.
You gotta represent and keep the engagement going. And Noble is about to destroy these guys. Oh. Finally get to make that SWAT movie.
Yep. Ah, so close. So close to being able to blast another one of those ships.
Dang, he's pretty strong.
Yeah.
For Noble being like, wouldn't say half robotic, but you know what I mean, like kind of superhuman.
Well, yeah, because he obviously has some cybernetic implants.
Yep.
Like, I think he's a human just with cybernetic implants.
Yeah, kind of like with what is it? Trying to think of that character from Terminator Dark Fate. I know you hadn't seen Terminator, but it was this one character that had like, you know, like cybernetic implants too. Oh yeah, and after this watch along, guys, please check out Rebel Moon Outskirts Battles on Roblox. It's a fun game mode. It's like how people do his modded Call of Duty game modes. It's literally just like that, and it's super fun.
See, I knew that Den was gonna die just because the fact is, like, he got on a battle with Noble, and I know that like Noble's not gonna lose to someone who's not the main character.
Yeah.
So the instant Den got on that ship fighting Noble, I knew that he was dead.
And that's the thing. Zack Snyder also talked about how I think probably in the next 4 to 6 years after the Rebel Moon franchise released, that's when they may start working on like a AAA game.
Zack has projects lined up. That's the thing. Zack Snyder has a lot of these projects. See, I'm actually of the hot take that I'm kind of glad that Zack Snyder's Justice League's not canon, because I actually like the idea of the Snyderverse existing in kind of like Zack's own arc as opposed to a big cinematic universe, because then Zack can do his own thing more.
And also, it considers the Snyderverse as its own IP.
Yeah. Which makes it a lot easier to get more of it, because what happens to the DCU doesn't matter, because it's not the Snyderverse.
Exactly.
So it doesn't have to obey what happened with Shazam, Wonder Woman 1984, Birds of Prey, The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker. None of that matters, because none of that's canon to the Snyderverse. And guys, just another reminder, tomorrow, 11/17, hashtag SellZSJLToNetflix, SellSnyderVerseToNetflix.
Yep. Get
That's
y'all's
all.
hashtags ready. We are going to be cooking hard. I also think they should release like patches for the Imperium like rankings, where you can just like put them on your patch and all that. Because there's like multiple rankings for these troops. And I just thought it would be cool if they released the patches as well.
Yeah, I think it would be. Yeah, that would actually be really cool.
Yeah, there's something I'm going to be talking about after we get done watching the film about the Kryptonian guards. Because I heard about this, but I'll talk about it when we get done watching the film.
Okay.
We're about to see Titus and Tarek kick some butt. Yo! Oh!
See, I like that Tarek is like not encouraging them to die. Like, you know, obviously there's going to be deaths, but like you don't want to go into the battle thinking that you're going to die.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can't be afraid to die.
Like, you can't be afraid to die, but you also don't want to be overly accepting of it either. Oh no, Nemesis. Oh, okay, so there's another scene that's not in the studio cut that's about to appear that I really love.
And that's the thing, bro. You got like Eris going all crazy with that because of what he dealt with when he met Noble. And all of his rage is like releasing in that scene where he's stabbing that Krypton guard.
And I love how like Sam's like the one who can actually calm him down. Like, that's what I love, that scene where Sam's like calming him down too. It's such a powerful scene. And
in this scene too, where oh, okay, never mind. It cut out to Noble.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to remember, right? Because we see like both the studio cuts and the director's cuts, like how they each play out.
Dang, Noble, like, get away from me.
Yeah, I know. Just he's so... Noble's brutal. Noble's brutal.
Like, yo, the sounds of the guns, like, you just listen, they sound so dope and powerful. It's like, sounds like some Halo blast. Do, 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 do.
See, I just love this scene right here, though. Like, again, I love how... Sorry, just wait until the scene actually plays out. Okay, yeah, I just love how that farmer, he knew he was going to die. He knew he was going to die, and he accepted it. You know, he didn't, plan on it, but since that's where he was, he just accepted it, and he was going to go out with a bang.
The death. Yeah. Well, I do love, I know it passed on, but like some of the slow motion, that scene where the explosions go on, you see like that one soldier like in the air, and he's just like, oh.
Yeah, you gotta love how dedicated those medics are to their job, like really trying to help their fellow soldier, not realizing what's about to happen.
Yeah, even when they don't realize that they're about to get literally, well, I ain't gonna say it.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's Cora and Gunners, or we know something's gonna happen.
Yeah, something's gonna happen, like that right there.
Okay, here we go.
Which Orcus plays your favorite? Like between Nemesis's and the Cryptian Guards, it's like in terms of like design wise.
I don't know. See, I'm kind of biased towards the Guards because I like blue. Like blue is my favorite color.
Oh, for me, I like the Cryptian Guards as one better. Not only because of like the color, but I like the grip on there, like the kind of gilt on there has more. It's just got more to it, in my opinion. Nemesis's ones, like in terms of the handles, it's just kind of like plain. But I don't know if it's just me or not. I do love both Orcus blades, but I just heard the Cryptian Guards as ones. And I also like the ones in Rebel Moon Bloodlines. In this scene, bro, like this scene hit hard.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, again, Zack's reminding you, it's war. War is brutal. People die, not just the bad guys. Oh, here we go. The scene I want to point out. I don't know if she said it yet.
Oh.
Okay, here we are.
You did good.
No, it's not you did good. It's you did well, Nemesis. In your finer moments, she teaches a boy bad grammar. What up, Dennis?
What's
Just
up?
so you know, timestamp for those of you who just joining us, we're approaching 1 minute and 54 seconds. We're approaching that time. So Nemesis just died. So again, this is a watch party for Rebel Moon Chapter 2, Curse of Forgiveness, supporting one of Zack Snyder's original projects on Netflix in order to hype up the trending event tomorrow to get Zack Snyder's DC movies on Netflix, to get his sequels made on Netflix specifically. So, yeah, I don't know what's like considered like the exact start of the third act, but we're in the third act definitely. Nemesis just died. So now we're approaching timestamp the next 1 minute, 54 second, 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 55 seconds.
Yeah, see right here in this scene where General Titus is blasting these troops. You also see like all the shots that's coming from all the blasters. Like you can see it's just shooting out. Like once it hits the body, it's just more like a magma shot. You see all that gulps of lava coming out of the shots themselves. Now they're lasers, but they just shoot out like magma instead of just like going through like with the lightsabers.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I never noticed that. That's actually really cool. And yeah, Dennis, there is a trending event tomorrow for SellZSJLToNetflix, SellSnyderVerseToNetflix, because tomorrow is the anniversary of Justice League, the day that Zack Snyder's Justice League movie was supposed to premiere in theaters. So, well, just make sure you're tweeting tomorrow. SellZSJLToNetflix, SellSnyderVerseToNetflix. Make tomorrow a successful day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna be cooking up. In fact, I'm gonna be getting ready for tonight too, because I got some stuff I need to cook up for tomorrow.
Me, I'm doing a watch party right now, so that's kind of my big thing.
Absolutely. Hyping up Zack Snyder's projects.
There's another watch party I may do tomorrow, possibly, but there's a certain guest I want on for that one, so we'll see if that happens. Oh, Sin Havoc, you're still here. Oh my god, I just love that. The soldiers think that they're already and like they won, and then nope, more to come.
They got more. They got those walkers they have to deal with, and then the walk. Okay, let me see. Is it? Yeah, it's shooting out those. Yeah, that bell may have taken a lot of damage from that. Yo. Too cool, bro. Too dope. Ooh, that dude's face.
I know. Brutal.
Gone. Also got these. These aren't Lego. This ain't Lego Rebel Moon, but it's mini mates.
Oh, cool. Let me just blow you up for a second.
Yeah, I hadn't opened these up yet because there's some I want to keep in the box, and then another one I'm gonna probably get that I can take them out of the box. But you see, you look at Jimmy, look at Cora. Their faces look kind of weird, but these do look really cool though. You got the guns, you got Jimmy right there. Now the Jimmy one I really like because this looks like a regular figure. I hope they make more of these. Which they possibly will. Oh.
And we appreciate Dennis. That's all. That's all. What we all need to do. We need to do our part to spread awareness to this. You know, the more people, the better. To show the engagement for ZSJL and the desire for the sequels. You know, it's always so funny when Millis appears here because I always like forget about her because there's so many different characters right now, and like, oh right, we haven't seen Millis yet in this battle.
Yeah,
but, you know, I like that they do that. They don't put all their best soldiers up front. You gotta put some of your best soldiers up front, sure, but you gotta leave some of them behind. You can't expose all of them right away.
And Millis does use Darian Blast's weapon after he dies, and what's funny is when they were on set, they named Darian's gun, like the LMG that Millis is also using. They named the gun the Badass Gun. That's what they named it. I was like, yo, that's badass.
The what gun?
No, Darian Black's is a weapon.
Yeah, but like what the name? I mean,
Badass.
Okay.
It's not named. That's not the actual name for it. That was the name that they had for it on set. It's like a little inside joke. Like, okay, this is the
cool.
Badass Gun. It's super
I like
funny.
it. Still really cool though.
Absolutely. What's cool is the slow motion though. You see all the wood flying out.
Oh, I already know for the LAPD movie they're going to complain about slow mo. The haters are already because I know there's going to be slow mo. They're going to be like,
yep. Hate, but by the end of the day, we thank the haters because they tune in to these projects like we do.
Exactly. See, that's why you don't want to hate watch stuff. That's why, I don't want to gun stuff. I just don't want to watch at all because I don't want to hate watch it because that's going to give it engagement.
Absolutely, exactly.
I'll be honest. I'm one of the people guilty of giving Velma season 2.
Bro, I'm never watching that.
Yeah, don't watch it. But I hate watch season 1. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm.
That's like
one of the people.
That's like I've never watched Harley Quinn, the Harley Quinn
show.
I
actually liked the early seasons of Harley Quinn.
I've seen I think they showed it one episode on Adult Swim one time, or whenever Toonami was around on there, which it still is, but I didn't actually watch it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean. First 2 seasons are good. Season 3, it kind of dies down for me a little bit, especially because season 3 gets very political in a lot of ways. Like they make like Bruce Wayne a bad guy essentially because they need to make like the rich white man the bad guy. And I always say this. I just want to kind of clarify this stance real quick, just so people know. I don't care about whether I agree with these political stances or not is a separate conversation. I'm saying whether I agree with it or not, I don't want it preached in my shows. That's all I'm saying. Just want to clarify that. Anyway, what were you saying to TheCurlyRay?
One thing's for sure, the Harley Quinn show does not top the Teen Titans Go episode of Zack Snyder. Does not.
That's the only episode of Teen Titans Go I've seen.
Oh, you hadn't seen? Oh, you hadn't? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're a bit older than me. I know a lot of people really don't like Teen Titans Go, but I don't think it's like. It's definitely not my thing, but it's not like. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad show. I prefer the original, but Teen Titans Go is more of like a comedy version of Teen Titans, if you get what I mean.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what it is. I know they even had like that crossover between like the serious show and
the Teen Titans Go, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this scene right here. See, I love this added scene right here.
The music too, though. And also,
and you actually feel more bad for what she's gonna do. I'm sorry, we're gonna say.
Oh, I'm gonna wait for the scene to kind of get through first, because I'm gonna let y'all wait and think of who voices this Callie.
Oh. Like, how did they capture this Callie? That's what I'm wondering.
That's what I'm curious too. And I even run a Rebel Moon channel. And I'm really wondering how they capture them because I think they just fly around space, and I think they just like. I'm just curious how they've done that. At first, I thought the colonies I know are meant for like fast travel through galaxies, but I'm wondering if they did to like travel to other like dimensions or like other universes. Like that's all I'm waiting on that.
Like traveling to the Armyverse, for example.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been thinking about too.
See, I love how like the Kali though like basically was playing in Korra's mind because obviously she's back there right now. But I like the Kali being practical though. She knows that she has to die for the greater good and that Korra doesn't want to do it, but also too, again, what's she gonna save her from? Living a life of servitude? See, but again, it explains why they have to kill these people because that's how they get fuel.
Exactly. That's like, yeah. That's
because
like,
you wonder in the studio cuts, why are they killing all these people? Like, I mean, I know they're evil, I get that, but you still need people to rule over.
It's just like, hey, we're gonna let you live if you do this, but knowing good and well they're probably gonna kill you anyways because they need the fuel. That's like how they killed, King Levitica. When they got his tooth, they got him, and they probably incinerated him in there as well. In the picture Issa was holding, not a sword, but a branch from the tree of life, maybe. Possibly. Zack never not to make that SWAT movie, but now he does. Because Netflix is letting him do whatever he wants to. Yeah, especially with Twilight of the Gods, because we know how that show was. He did his research.
See, and I like that they explain the lack of need for the grain more in this scene, too.
No, but bro, Cassius... I cannot wait for you to read that novel. He is such a wonderful character in the novels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. You get to see his backstory too, and it's fire. Hey, there's Brett Culver. What's he doing there?
Yeah. Some of us. I mean, I haven't really got to talk to him yet, but he actually does. He's actually stopped by in the chat before. He actually follows not only does he follow my stream, like my YouTube channel Instagram, he actually follows my personal Instagram too.
He follows me too.
Yeah, so he gets to
not
see
only
all
that.
What
are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say he gets to see like all my band concert pictures and all my trips to the Shed Aquarium.
Oh yeah, it's so dope, man. Like not only does he follow me, let me look. I keep forgetting their names. I don't know why. Let me see. No.
Well, DC all the way, he probably moves on because he only has so much time in an interview.
Yeah. But no, but Princess Issa's actor and the actor that played Eris's mother, they both follow me on Instagram as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she's also liking my she also liked that post I made promoting our trending day.
Oh, nice.
Tomorrow, yep. And I also told them about Rebel Moon Theory.
Netflix first deal. Okay, yes, and Havoc, that's what he has, a Netflix first deal. So like, they get like the first dibs on it, and if they don't... And only for original IP, I think, too. So like that UFC movie, for example, I assume doesn't apply to that because that's not like an original IP type of thing. But that's really cool, TheCurlyRay. I really like that they... Because that's what I love about the Cell movement, though, is the Cell movement has like a yin and yang relationship with promoting Rebel Moon. Is that, we hype up Cell to promote Rebel Moon, and we promote Rebel Moon to hype up Cell. The two complement each other. that was a big issue in hindsight I had with Restore, is that Restore was kind of like, didn't really care about Army of the Dead as much. Like, I'm not saying they didn't, but it wasn't.
Absolutely.
It was definitely more of an afterthought than like Rebel Moon is with Cell.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, with Restore, you couldn't really, like, do all these promotions and all this engagements you could do with Cell, because when we're engaging with Netflix, this allows us to engage with, other Netflix shows and even get to have talks with other actors in other Netflix, projects, or any any show that ends up being a Netflix original series. Which, for example, like, there's been Netflix has been getting the license to, get to bring in some animes from Crunchyroll, and there's been, a few voice actors that, follow up with these animes, and they've been seeing all the support that I've been doing for them and engagement, and they really appreciate it. And doing stuff like this has helped us. It's helped our not only does it benefit them, but it also helps our community grow.
Exactly.
And that's when we can represent it more, and it's making it bigger. Now, I've even met some wonderful friends by doing this. There's been a couple of people I've met where I've been playing Halo with them. Shout out to Frozen Onyx. He plays a lot of Halo. He's got a team called Nexus that he's in. It's so dope. And he's also rocking out with Zack Snyder's DC stuff too.
Well, that's the whole point, because it all helps each other at the end of the day, and that's okay. This part right here, I gotta.
Yeah, y'all about to see me do some work.
All right, yeah.
So, I love this scene, bro.
Yeah, Jimmy. It's funny. Jimmy goes from "you cannot win" to, after thinking about it, I was like, no, I'm gonna help these people.
And the fact he's using his antlers as weapons, he's stabbing them, this is fire.
Yeah, so much more brutal in the. And that's why I was actually saying that, like, I think I need to kind of have Austin slightly redo my Space-tastic Discussions intro so he can incorporate some of these director cut scenes in it.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I love some of these shots too. Another thing is the color grading, I think, is a bit different than they are in the Netflix cuts. Because I feel like it just looks a little bit different in my opinion.
Well, yeah, because Snyder has his own like color grade that he uses. He has like a specific.
Okay, I was gonna say something, but I forgot because this awesome scene just appeared, and I just was entertained by it. I need to get a cloak like that for my cosplay, though. I just bought like a hoodie, but I feel like I'm about to get like a blanket or something for that, or something that kind of makes it look like that.
But Jimmy just kicks ass though in this scene. Jimmy is my favorite character in this franchise.
Yeah, he's definitely my favorite too.
When I met Sophia Boutella, I really regret not telling her I saw Rebel Moon in theaters, because the reason why it's a big deal for me to have done that is because, like, I went to the one Chicago showing for both parts, and I live in the suburbs, so it's not easy for me to get to the city because I refuse to drive in the city of Chicago. I refuse to drive there. So I took a lot of public transportation to get there, and I would have wish I told Sophia Boutella the effort I made just to see those movies in theaters.
Yeah, I wish I got to see him in theaters, bro. But where I'm at, there's just nothing to do. In my opinion.
I mean, that's something I do try and take for granted. Is like, you know, living in near a big city like Chicago is like I do get a lot of those opportunities to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try like because I'm gonna be a lot busy next year because I went to like so many conventions this year. I went to like 4, and in 2025, the ones I'm gonna try to I may try the I want to try to go to a Netflix Geek Week event. I want to try to go to one of those.
Nemesis is also cool too. I definitely like her.
Yeah, I want to. I want to see that comic. I want to read it so bad. I cannot wait for it to come out.
See, and I love how they changed like how the don't want to say it yet.
Yeah.
See, the Director's Cut definitely leaves a lot of these people's fates less ambitious. Like, okay, so I can say it now. Like how the gun misses, and like the studio cut, the gun misses just because like the bomb went off. Whereas here, this makes a lot more sense. How Cora just like killed the guy, killed Brett Colbert.
Wait, how did Brett Colbert die in the Netflix cut? Did he just like not survive?
You don't see it. You don't know what happens to him.
Oh, okay. I thought they may have shown it, but
no. Like for all you know, he lives in the studio cuts.
He lives.
Well, like it's kind of a rule of movies. Like if you don't see it, it doesn't happen. Like if the character's death, if you don't see the character die, it doesn't happen. It's kind of like Darian Bloodaxe. Like I thought Darian Bloodaxe might be alive, but then in the director's cut, it's a lot more brutal with the blood. Like more shots. Okay, so this part right here. See, that's the other thing too, is that like this gun can fire right away, where it doesn't need as much recharging time.
Yeah, it's like and it can rotate right in front of there, which that would be a.
See, okay, so this part right here. See, like Noble hightailing out of there is just different than the studio cut. Like at first he just hightails it just because Cora's on the ship, got to kill him. Whereas now it's just obvious what's going on. It's just like, oh shit, got to hightail out of there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I really want to save up and try to go to some of these, events that Zack Snyder's been bringing down. They may have more next year, man. They may have more, and we don't even know. I wonder what they're gonna do. But Netflix Geek Week, I'm gonna try to see if I can show up to there next year, depending on when it will be. But I'm gonna try to show up to one of those in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, you definitely should. See, this like right here, like it's just so brutal. Like, you feel like Cassius trying to hightail out there, and like what Noble does.
It's just like how could he? He's like, how could you do this? Like that's like Cassius' reaction to it, in my opinion.
Well, especially because the thing is, it probably would have taken just as much time to let Cassius aboard that elevator as it would for him to have taken the gun and killed him. But see, that's what I like. Like Cassius, he's another character that you don't like. I thought he was alive. He survived because you don't see him die. Like Brett Colbert, Cassius, you don't see him die either. Like you see him die in this cut, but you don't see him die in the studio cut.
And then Jimmy's turned around and looking. Man, the shots of Jimmy in these movies, they are so beautiful. Like each and every single one, like where he's out in the fields, and just every single one just looks magnificent.
Yeah. Well, Zack's a very good visual person. Even his haters don't even pretend that one.
Yeah, the haters do love his visuals.
Like, they try to say, like, oh, they try to use that to insult him. Like, oh, yeah, he's only a good visual director.
More Cryptio guards. See, that thing's burnt. See the grip right there. You see like you see that little like gilt under the blade. Oh, yeah.
It's just
right
no,
there.
I'm not trying to cut you off. I can't see it because now I can see it. It was the blade was moving too fast. I couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's just like gilt right there. That's why I liked more about the. That's why I liked it more than Nemesis's blades. But one thing's for sure, we're probably going to get more. You guys think the Mother World destroys the planet? They just stayed in orbit and fire at every point of the planet, glassing it as in no survivors, or do you think they just hit population center? That is a good question.
I think they just kind of hit the population centers because I don't think they necessarily want to kill the planets right out there, because if they see the planet blow up, that creates a lot more.
It creates more like controversy, in my opinion. And not only, another thing is too, you got to think about is like maybe there's supplies out there or things that they need that benefit the mother world. So I think it's just like a population thing, where if it's just like one civilization on this planet, that's what they're going to destroy. But that's what I think. I could be wrong about that, but we'll have to wait and see later on in the future.
Well, I think I agree with what you said, because they just need fuel for the colonies. They just need fuel. See, the one thing that, I mean, it's a minor thing. I wouldn't trade this one thing for anything out for all the other better stuff. But the studio cut is like that one F-bomb that Noble just said. It is a little bit funnier in the PG-13 cut because that's the only F-bomb that he says. Because so like a lot of people don't know is that PG-13 movies, they get one F-bomb. The instant there's a second F-bomb, it's rated R. And they can't even use it in like a sexual tone either. So I mean, I'm just saying it's kind of funnier in the studio cut for that reason, but that's like a minor thing. I still rather have all these other changes that we get in this one.
Yo, oh. Slice up the gun. Ying. 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 I love those blades, bro.
Oh yeah, they're great. The molten swords.
I actually like them more than lightsabers. I won't lie. I'm not saying that to be like it's not like a rebel move base. I like the details. I like the aura on the blades where you see that fade and smoke on them. It just looks magnificent. Yeah. Even in this scene right here where he's spinning.
And it's kind of funny, like, to bring up DC's point all the way, to kind of like have a Star Wars comparison. Actually, I don't know if this is like official canon anymore or not, but when Tarkin blew up Alderaan, that was actually very bad for the Empire, because all these people saw Alderaan as a peace-loving planet, so as a loyal Empire planet, or loyal to the Empire. So when the Death Star blew them up, that made a lot more people rebel against the Empire, because then it's like, could that be us next? They did everything right, and they got blown up. So the reason I'm bringing this up, though, that's why I don't think they want to destroy the planets, because they want people loyal to the mother world still. So if they just flat out blow up planets, that creates a lot more controversy. That's why I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
And
know
not
it's
only
different
that,
worlds, different rules apply, but I think it's that same type of logic would apply to both franchises, I would say.
yeah, not only that, they may need resources from those planets as well. Like if they need some equipment, if they need anything for their troops, like food, harvesting, and all that, they'll need those planets, and that's why they will have them to live.
Exactly. Yep, and all that. See, but that's what I'm saying. When we see those ships escape, I thought that was. I just assumed that Cassius and Brett Colbert's characters just got on one of those ships and hightailed it out of there. Especially because Cassius, I don't know if you know, but Cassius is actually, like, the actor who plays him is actually very famous in Mexico.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't know he was Hispanic until I read the Heroes and Monsters book. I thought he was just American, but yeah, he's pretty huge, along with Isa Gonzalez and what's that other girl's name?
See, you know what I love about this movie too? I love that, like, even though Korra needed saving that one point, I like that in a way Korra saved Gunner enough that it didn't feel cheap, because that, again, the characters saved each other, and that's what I love about Zack Snyder, is that Zack Snyder makes female characters badass without making the male characters around them weak.
Absolutely. Who do you think Ezra Miller could be in Rebel Moon? What role do you think he can take in Rebel Moon?
Ezra Miller, you said?
Yes.
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to, like, figure out, like, I know what I want to say, but I'm trying to, like, figure out how I want to, like, say it exactly, because I can't figure out how to word it. But, like, basically, I kind of want to say kind of like a badass hippie character. Like, basically, like, they need help, and, like, he's like a character that would help them, but he's like kind of like this.
Kind of like he's like the goofy side character in a way, or is it like
Not goofy, but like just kind of like a hippie would be, like, kind of like one with the world. Like, I mean, one. I'm not, like, for lack of a better term, one with the earth. Obviously not Earth, but, like, you know what I mean.
or what's
Like that. Like,
what's a character? What's like a hippie character? I'm trying to think of a hippie character from like any other franchise that you can think of that would kind of put an example like that.
I can't think of one right now, honestly. That wouldn't be too esoteric.
Yeah, I was just kind of I was just curious because
Mikey said that Ezra Miller is likely going to be in Rebel Moon.
I think he will. Mikey has been right multiple times, and he's possibly right about that too. So,
and he scooped that before the guy who accused Ezra Miller. Thank you, Sin Havoc. Someone in tune with nature. That's the way. That's how I want to word it. Thank you. That's exactly what I want to.
So he's kind of like the wise guy, kind of like, how should I say it? I forget. I'm forgetting the words. He's just one of those like peaceful guys. Yeah, I think I'm getting what you're talking about, Sin Havoc.
So, I mean, are you saying, Sin Havoc, you're saying that it could be somewhere like that?
It may be, but no, I was just saying, like, I get where he's kind of going with that. Now, for me, I could see him as a villain. I could see him as being a villain. I could see him being a part of the Mother World, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he actually does play a villain in Invincible Season 1. Did you watch Invincible?
Yes. I've seen Season 1. I've seen all of Season 1. I had not seen Season... Oh, I've watched a little bit of Season 2.
He's not in Season... Or sorry, yeah. He's not in Season 2. He's only in... Like, his character's in Season 2, but he's recast. In Season 1, D.A. Sinclair.
Yeah, I actually didn't know he wasn't in that until, like, later on, but... Yes, I have seen Invisible Season 1. Have not. I did see the spinoff episode they had of what was her name? What's that character's name?
Eve. I haven't seen those. And just to answer, hold on, let me just answer Dennis's question. Gunner's dying right now. We're approaching timestamp
And the black,
2 hours, 28 minutes, and 54 seconds. We're approaching there.
yeah, and the blacks has just arrived in their fighters. And
Yeah.
and
I think you're a second ahead of me because when I was hitting play, the PlayStation didn't hear me right away. Like, you know, when you press a button, it doesn't like respond to you right away.
yeah, Zack Snyder cameos that. I think he cameos that.
Is that? I know what you're
that
talking
pilot.
about. I don't know if that's actually confirmed, like that guy, or like the alien guy. I don't know if that's actually confirmed though.
I remember I would go on Twitter and like I would see him like doing pilot things like that. And these scenes where they're like we're in the fighters or like turning, they're seeing all that go on, like it's so dope, bro.
But yeah, point of what I'm saying, like the reason I brought up Invincible is like Ezra Miller could be a villain. Like he's played villains before.
Yeah, I think he could be some kind of maybe a side villain for Belisarius, possibly. He could be that.
Because honestly, I think Zack Snyder's probably like the only director that Ezra Miller would work for again at this moment. And I'm just saying, like, you know, Mikey scooped that before Ezra Miller was cleared by that one guy who accused him, by Chase Iron Eyes. But now that happened, it's even more likely for that scoop to come true. So
I think it will come true. I think it will.
And also, you know, Brett Colbert, he liked when I shared my, you know, that Ezra Miller and Jared Leto stream I did with Josh?
Yes. When
I shared it on Instagram, Brett Colbert liked that.
Yeah, that's like the thing is like he likes like he's looking at our posts and he's like he's loving this stuff and
yeah. Well, I really appreciated him liking that post that one particularly because I'm, you know, when I did that stream with Josh, I'm not stupid. I know it was a controversial stream I did. I know just bringing up Ezra Miller at all is controversial. And I like that Brett Colbert, despite that, showed his open support for that. And I really appreciated that.
Absolutely. And not just that, like I that post I made with all my McFarlane figures, my DC figures, he likes it too.
Yeah.
He's like it all. He shows supports for this stuff. And it's just like, you know, it's so awesome to see somebody, you know, that's a cast in this movie, like rocking out with us.
Exactly. I mean, and I know he died in this movie, but you don't think that Zack's going to give him other work in the future? No.
Character.
I think he's going to be.
Oh, what's up?
I think he's going to be in ZSJL 2 and 3 or what? Again, calling it ZSJ and 2, just calling it ZSJL 2 and 3 for now as a reminder to people. But I think he's going to be in that. Honestly,
I could see him as Hal Jordan. I could see him playing Hal Jordan. I think he's going to be Hal Jordan if they do put Hal Jordan in there. I think he's going to be. I could see him as Hal Jordan.
Yeah, I could do. I know another one we talked about was Captain Cold.
Oh, the good Austin brought that up. I think he could be Captain Cold.
Oh yeah, good Austin brought that up. That's not surprised that the Flash guy gave him a Flash villain.
I hadn't seen the Flash on the CW.
Yeah, you don't. It was good for the first 3 seasons, and then it kind of after season 3, it's not good.
And I felt like you need to watch Superman and Lois too.
That one's good, and that one's actually not part of the Arrowverse, despite the fact that it's the same Superman and Lois from the Arrowverse actor-wise. It's actually not. It's a separate universe from the Arrowverse. It's completely its own thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like Tyler Hoechlin is a lot better in that show than he is in Supergirl. In Supergirl, he's propped down so much to highlight Supergirl. Oh, I love this scene. Yep, Cora's finally confessing.
That she killed Princess Issa.
And, you know, it's so funny. Like, a lot of people judge Cora for that, but it's hard to, like, be in that situation because she was raised by her father. Like, she was in that situation. It's not easy to go against your people. But she's working to redeem herself right now.
Or Or did she kill her?
Well, okay. I mean, out of principle. Like, yeah. Like, that's what I mean. Like, the principle of it. Like, she still...
Oh, what's up?
Well, she just got lucky that it didn't actually kill her, but it wasn't like she tried to not kill her.
That's the thing, bro. I'm going to be talking about it on my channel soon, but I'm still wondering, like, if Princess Issa is some kind of, like, supernatural being
She's
some
something.
ghost.
I mean, she brought that bird to life.
Absolutely. That's the thing what I was thinking about. There's some detail in that scene was like, you know, we had the bird that represents Korra, the dog represents death, and Korra represents, you know, the life giver or another chance at life. That was something that I saw somebody say that, and I thought that was a cool detail to point out.
Oh, what up?
Yo, what's up, Josh Herrera? What's going on, man?
Just Josh. You and me, just Josh. We're gonna go right now.
And me? I'm just gonna be watching y'all's do y'all thing.
See, you know, one concern I do have to say, the fact that they didn't kill off this Jimmy. Anthony Hopkins is old, and I mean, I want to clarify. Obviously, when someone dies, that's sad, and so I'm not saying the movie's more important, but for the movie, I have to wonder: did Zack get him to sign off on AI? Because, I mean, he's 86 years old. He's not a young man.
Well, the thing you do have to think about too is that all the Jimmys, they're all voiced differently. Like that's like Bartholomew's voiced by a different character in Rebel Moon the Seneschal, where
yeah, but this Jimmy, I'm just saying, like, this particular Jimmy though has a story set up with them.
Yeah, that is kind of curious, like if he is.
And it's so funny. If this were the studio cut, the movie would be over right now. Like that last scene.
Yep. But this part right here is fire.
So, Josh, if you want to sync up, we're at the girl singing at the funeral. I don't know if it's officially called a funeral, but you know what I mean. 2 hours, 36 minutes, approaching 40 seconds. Or you're not Josh. You're Josh.
Also got the Kai Funko Pop right here. I took one out of the box, or I'll show you right here. I'm buying more. I'm buying like another set of the Funko Pops because I want to have some. I want to have some where I can take them out of the box. Like another set that's in the box, and then the other that's out of the box.
What a great scene. And again, it sets up more.
Exactly. There is more to be told, bro. Like,
well, especially because, like, Noble, he's not the overall bad guy of the franchise. He's the bad guy of these two movies, but he's not the overall antagonist.
Exactly. Your big main antagonist is Belisarius.
Yeah, he's the real, like, antagonist of the whole thing. And Zack Snyder said it's a 6-part plan, or like a 6-movie plan, which is obvious. So what's going to happen likely is 3 and 4 will be greenlit together. He'll probably do the same thing for 3 and 4, and the same thing for 5 and 6. That's when people keep saying, oh, he's going to get Rebel Moon 3. Like, well, no. If he's getting Rebel Moon 3, he's getting Rebel Moon 4. No.
He's going to get, not only that, he'll probably get 4, 5, and 6.
Well, I mean, he'll get 3 and 4 together, and then he'll get 5 and 6 together.
Well, I think how Justice League 2 and 3 is going to be laid out, I think it may be laid out just like how they did with Rebel Moon, where, okay, Justice League 2 is going to come out, and then 7 months after, you will get Justice League 3. Then after that, you got director's cuts for those movies.
Yeah.
That'll come out.
Well, I mean,
think it's
who
how it's
knows?
gonna be made.
Because, I mean, I agree with you, Josh, or Curly Ray, but this guy here is saying it's going to be episodic, likely.
Yeah.
So, you know what's so funny? This scene right here where Belisarius gets his crown on, that's like it's in the first trailer for Rebel Moon, and we never see it in the studio cuts.
Yeah, I felt like for some reason when we first got that trailer at Gamescom, I thought this scene was going to take place in that battle arena on why I forget the planet.
See, one
Pollux. Yeah, Pollux. I thought it was going to take place on Pollux. Oh, what were we going to say?
I actually had to stop myself because we're not quite there. See, and like here they kind of confirm a lot more that like everyone from that, like the Imperium, from Nobles Men are dead. Like every single person. This guy. See, that's what I love about. He knows his daughter. He knows his own daughter. See, I like that Belisarius didn't at least kill the guy for bringing bad news. That he doesn't kill the guy who brings the bad news. He doesn't shoot the messenger. That's the expression I want to use.
Yeah, he doesn't shoot the guy like Noble did.
Well, because you also want to be a smart leader too, right? You still want to have loyalty with your men. If you're killing them for no reason, they're gonna resent you. Like, you can be cruel and evil, but still be a good leader. And that's what I think of Belisarius. He's an evil guy, but a good leader.
Absolutely, because he will crucify some people.
Yeah, but only to the people who, when I say deserve it, I don't mean like morally deserve it. I mean like deserve it in terms of like their organization, the Mother World's laws.
Absolutely. And there is the credits.
Yep. And hold on a second. I'm just going to... So now, just be right back. You can keep talking, Curly Ray. Just got to get something.
Alrighty. Yo, man. This movie, let me tell y'all, like, I'm really huge into sci-fi. Excuse me. And consider that I am, like, into the sci-fi, and that Zack Snyder has built out this entire world based around, Zack Snyder's, or he's built this world and building out a sci-fi world, and he's expanding it. It's really cool that we got to see him make this creation and create this space type, to making this like sci-fi franchise. I know we have like Man of Steel that does have space elements in there too, but the point I'm trying to bring out is that this was kind of like, like the Star Wars or sci-fi type movie, and where you have like your blasters and all that. And I think it's been really cool that he's been able to make these creations, and he literally gave Netflix a new IP where people can expand with comics, books, games, and it's just something that's been super big. And I remember when this was first announced, I was like, yo, Netflix is about to make some money out of this. So yeah, it's been so awesome getting to rock out with y'all, even with Rebel Moon and even Zack Snyder's other projects, including, his DC movies. And man, let me tell y'all, I cannot wait for the future of Rebel Moon. The future is bright. Netflix is definitely killing it over there. Not only just Netflix, but Zack Snyder. And I just can't wait, y'all. I just cannot wait for more Rebel Moon. So next year, well, soon we got a new comic coming out. We got the mobile game that's coming out. We got a Kali series, I believe, or a mini series, and I'm just wondering what we're else going to get. I definitely cannot wait for the future of Rebel Moon.
Neither can I. And just showing this real quick, this is my Cell shirt. No. And then on the back, nobody's pawn. God, hold on. Let me blow that up. It's hard to see in this lighting.
Hold up.
But
Yeah, go and show that. I'm going to get mine out.
Nobody's pawn, signed by... I'm sorry, trying to position this. Sophia Boutella. Sophia Boutella signed my Cell shirt.
Yeah, trying to find my shirt.
And I gotta frame that. But like, yeah, Sophia Boutella herself signed my shirt for more of Zack Snyder's DC. And you know, again, when I met her, she gave me a fist bump for being a hardcore Zack Snyder fan. So
yeah, I think she may have done the same thing too. But I think I gave her a hug because you know I love to show out support for.
Oh, I would not be that brave. I would not be that brave to hug her.
I
mean, turn it to you, man, if you did.
I don't think I can't remember actually. I think I did.
I get it.
One thing I can show too. I think my shirts are in the washer, but I got my autograph framed by Sophia Boutella right here.
Nice.
Yeah, and the flare is showing the tab, so I may want to cut that off for a minute.
Yeah. But yeah, I really hope we get more of this franchise. I mean, yes, I'm not going to lie. My immediate concern right now is ZSJL 2 and 3, but I still hope to get more of the Rebel Moon franchise too, because that's an awesome franchise, and I can't wait. We need more of that.
And not just more Rebel Moon merch, along with more Rebel Moon popcorn bowls. You know what I'm talking about? Like, the point I'm trying to bring out is, you know, everyone's wanting more Rebel Moon. Like, I've been going to conventions, having talks with people, and they are just loving this stuff. Like, if you compare real life, if you compare the reactions that I've been getting from people about Rebel Moon in real life and comparing it to online, it's day and night. Like, it's completely different because all the hate, the internet tries to make it look like that Rebel Moon is not a succeeding franchise and nobody cares about it. And if you really want to find out if people are diving in for this, like I said, you can go out in the real world, talk to these people, talk to your family members, your children if you got any, your grandparents, your coworkers, your teachers, your instructors, your construction workers, your doctors, if you're talking to people all different shapes and sizes, then you're most likely guaranteed to find somebody that does in fact like Rebel Moon. Not just Rebel Moon, Zack Snyder's stuff. Okay, there's just a lot of people rocking out with this, and it's the mainstream media that has been trying to push this narrative that nobody cares about Zack Snyder, nobody cares about his projects, and we have been the ones that have been putting huge combat between these narratives and continue to fight for what we believe in. And by doing this, we go out and represent, we go out and engage, and we continue to support Netflix and show out their engagement. Not just Netflix, but Zack Snyder's projects too. All of his projects.
Exactly. That's the thing with Cell. That's the whole point of me doing this watch party right now. Even though the trending event tomorrow specifically for ZSJL 2 and 3, we hype up all of Zack Snyder's projects. And that's the whole point of yin and yang. We're hyping up Zack Snyder for DC, but we're doing that with Rebel Moon. Watching Rebel Moon, showing that Zack Snyder is a hot in demand director right now.
And also going to the events. And also showing up to when, if Rebel Moon gets a Fortnite collab, I'm showing up. I'm going to be doing my streams of me getting the Jimmy skins and Korra and Nemesis on that game, if it does happen, which it could happen soon. I don't know when, but I feel like it's going to happen soon. But the point I'm trying to bring out is showing up to the event, dressing up. Yo, make some Rebel Moon cosplays. We need more of this stuff. And
exactly.
It's just, it's just like, we just need more of this stuff, and I just cannot wait for more Rebel Moon.
Same here. Exactly, TheCurlyRay. Well said. I want more Rebel Moon. I want more of Zack Snyder's work. Hopefully more of that, of the Armyverse too, of that franchise. But yeah, there's a lot to look forward to as a Zack Snyder fan. But right now, tomorrow we are trending SellZSJLToNetflix and SellSnyderVerseToNetflix. And make sure I did spell that right, hopefully, because I'm
You spelled it right.
Okay, good. So remember, tomorrow, tweet the Sell hashtags, and show Netflix our demand. Remember, be positive, do not mix hashtags, and keep the messaging focused on Netflix. We don't care about Warner Brothers. You don't need to engage with Warner Brothers. The only people who need to engage with Warner Brothers are Netflix when they make the deal. That's it. And I want to clarify this because I hear this complaint. Well, obviously, we need Warner Brothers to sign off on this. Yes, we know that. But the point is, we're not going to give Warner Brothers the engagement in the meantime while we hype up Sell. That's the whole point of it, because that's still engagement for them in the meantime. Exactly, Sin Havoc. Sell is the way. Sell is the way to get that story. Exactly. It's its own IP. And again,
sell it.
Whatever preferences we have, I'm saying whatever preferences we have, the only asks are live action and Zack Snyder directs it. Whatever he signs off on beyond that, we as fans will accept. Just like I'm telling you, Sin Havoc. Even though right now the format's episodic, I'm just saying I prefer movies because of my OCD, but I will accept whatever Zack Snyder is happy with. But the point I'm making is live action, Zack Snyder. The rest, we let Zack Snyder decide what is best. Anything else you want to add to TheCurlyRay?
Oh yeah, man. Tomorrow, like what Bad Dan was talking about, keep engaging, use the hashtags, use SellZSJLToNetflix, SellSnyderVerseToNetflix. Definitely, I got some stuff coming up tomorrow, and I got more coming up with the Rebel Moon theory, which be on the lookout for that. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I gotta say for tonight. I've had a wonderful time watching this movie with you again, Bad Dan, and even getting to do these watch-alongs with you too. And it's been super dope. And thank you for having me on here on the panel tonight, Bad Dan.
Absolutely, TheCurlyRay. And Sin Havoc, I'm not doubting you, man. I'm not doubting you at all. I think you give really great advice, and I trust you. I trust you, Sin Havoc. Don't worry. I'm just telling you what I prefer. That's all. But I definitely believe you. And you're right, Josh. Sell all day. Okay, now I don't know why I'm confusing Sin Havoc here. Don't worry, Sin Havoc. Sin Havoc, don't worry. It's all good, man. I believe you, Sin Havoc. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're all good. Sorry, just had to kind of clarify it there. But yeah, definitely TheCurlyRay. I'm really glad to have you on. I'm really glad that I had you to have you on. It was really great. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed this discussion. And I guess, what do you have coming up on your channel?
Well, there's gonna be another Rebel Moon theory video coming up soon, very soon. And then after that, there's something I'm going to be announcing there as well. Be prepared. And also, all I could say is be prepared for December 22nd, which is the 1-year anniversary of Rebel Moon. Okay. I'm not going to tell you guys why I got preparing up for that day, but I will let you guys know soon on the channel. But just be on the lookout for it. Okay.
Absolutely, TheCurlyRay. I can't wait. Please subscribe to TheCurlyRay. Subscribe to Rebel Moon Theory. And coming up for me, really no plans right now, honestly. I wanted to do something tomorrow for Trending Day 2, but absolutely, Sin Havoc, be prepared, because I will listen to you, Sin Havoc. Don't worry, because I believe the advice you're giving is our best bet. But anyway. I don't think my thing I was going to do tomorrow will come through, but hey, if it does, maybe be on the lookout for that. But me, I'm hyping up Sell right now. SellZSJLToNetflix, SellSnyderVerseToNetflix. That's my main focus right now, is hyping up those two movies. And then pretty soon on my channel, Crime at Christmas Time will start. So be on the lookout for my Christmas series. I do all of these Christmas related videos, or videos that don't relate to Christmas at all, but will still have the Christmas background and intro because it's Christmas time. So be on the lookout for that. And there is another channel I'm going to be on very soon. I don't know if I can say this yet. So there's another channel I'm going to be guest starring on soon. That's all I'm going to say right now. And when that gets announced publicly, be on the lookout for that. But guys, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more unique takes, interesting thoughts, and great discussions such as these. And I'm going to say the same thing I said when I woke up from my anesthesia. Ezra Miller is innocent. SellZSJLToNetflix. SellSnyderVerseToNetflix. And on that note, any final words, TheCurlyRay?
Yeah, man. Like I said, just wanted to thank you for having me here on the panel tonight. Had an absolutely great time rocking out with you guys, and I definitely cannot wait for tomorrow. It's gonna be big. I'm gonna make sure to get those hashtags out, and even sharing out a lot of posts I got coming up on the channel that I will be having not only on Twitter but on my Instagram and the Rebel Moon Theory TikTok. It's gonna be big.
Cannot wait. I cannot wait. And thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate it, and I love having you on my channel. And on that note, have a space-tastic day.
You too, Bat Dan.